Hello and welcome back to another episode of Action Toon Brothers. Today we are back at apartment, because I can't say Casa de Bo Migo, where I'm with the owner, yet co-host of this show.
It's me, Toon Twist. I'm back again.
Oh shit, Tony! You made it!
Yeah, it's me.
Oh my god!
Hey, what the fuck? What the hell are you guys doing with my recording equipment? Tony, get the fuck out of here.
Come on, you know Tony would never miss a recording for Spawn.
Right, come on.
I threw him out the window. Tony's dead now again for the second time. Oh my god.
Well,
Man,
I was gonna be like, it's Tony Twist, but no, I guess it has to be the guy who owns this whole program.
Yeah, I know.
And the co-host for when I lead a thing, Matt Lewis, I guess.
Yeah, it's Matt Lewis. Yeah, Tom just tried to steal my spot. He tried to buy the company from under me, even though he was dead at the time. I don't know how any of this works, but here we are again.
I mean, hey, you know what? Even when you're dead, the rich still get richer.
Of course. Well, as we'll see in this season.
However, like I said, we are at Apartment de Bomigo, and that is actually assigned because we have friend of the podcast, Chris Bo.
That's right, it's me, Bo Migo, the guy that's the thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, it is I, Chris. I am friend of several podcasts. Hooray!
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, probably, he will be.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
your friendly neighborhood Chris. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
I think that's a better title for you.
We
Friendly
literally
Neighborhood Chris.
went over that last episode too.
We're going over it this episode too. But now, you know it, you love it. This is season 2 of 3 of the most edgy, dark 90s show you could possibly imagine. Also known as Todd McFarlane's Spawn.
Hell yeah.
So season 1 was a trip and a half. We laughed, we cried. Some people, including myself silently, were getting very uncomfortable with some of the characters. And,
I'm sure that won't happen again.
oh yeah, it's gonna happen many times over. But then we have season 2, and
Yeah, Billy Kincaid's dead. That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's true. And I mean, I don't know. Pre-game kind of question here. This season kind of seems a little bit more tame than season 1.
I was gonna say I probably like this season more, even though it's less Spawn focused than the previous one.
Yeah.
The last one, him kind of like stumbling around, not knowing where he's going or what he's doing or what he is. And this one that feels like it focuses more on Terry and the villains and everything like that. And it's like Spawn is just kind of like the background impetus for everything that happens. And that's why I like this season a little bit more.
And I agree with you. I actually see some series have when they have a season 2, like Korra, for instance. It's like season 2 really fucking misses the mark. But then you have series like this where I agree with you. See, this season I kind of liked it a little better than the first one because kind of like with Castlevania, a series that we've done before. If you haven't heard those episodes, please do. They're actually really good.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's like they needed to have like a season where it's like not the main characters, but like everyone else. And this one did that well.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're bringing up Castlevania specifically, because that introduced all the villains, which just completely overshadowed the hero team by a mile after that. But
I think
I think
that was like season
even.
3 when they did that because you were focusing more on Isaac and Hector.
That one had Peter Stormare's vampire, and then all the other the Carmilla number introduced in 2.
Yep.
And immediately, and also Hector and Isaac. So they immediately overshadowed the main party. But I would say that even Terry and what's the hell is Al's wife? Wanda. They're more interesting and fun to follow than they were in the previous season 2, even this one.
Yep.
They definitely put less emphasis on Spawn himself, but although they did give more backstory as to how he died and what he's gonna do about it. But he does take more of a backseat role, and it's mostly his role is pretty much just learning about his past and then also just being Wanda's protector.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean last season we joked about how he just brooded for 70% of the series.
He really. Now don't worry. Now don't worry, listeners. We're still gonna get some brooding, and we're still gonna get some Al Simmons killing people, but those are little tidbits that they added in each episode, pretty much. No. This right here, it's gonna focus more on all the side characters, but we still get Al being a brooding edgelord of a 90s.
Still
character.
Plenty of gun shooting Spawn action.
But now let's let's just dive into it. We get to start off with episode 1 of season 2, Home Bitter Home.
It opens up with a long recap of the previous season, which of course I skipped because I know because I watched it twice already.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I've already watched season 1 and I already know what happens. So it's just like previously last season on, and then after that we get something different. We get the title card.
Yeah,
and then after we get like the intro, the title card. Guess who came back? Mr. McFarlane himself.
I was gonna say this time in a weird mummy. I wrote like Todd's in a mummy crypt? Question mark.
Yeah, it might be just his basement for all we know.
Yeah, probably. It was
and then he's just like something betrayal. That hurts when someone's the closest to you. And
Todd's talking about betrayal a whole bunch.
It just just like Todd McFarlane's still doing, but he never tells us to do. He never says, now for Spawn, turn off your lights. He stopped doing that this time.
He has to pick up his slack, I guess.
Well, we start off with flashbacks.
Yeah, we see...
Cagliostro talking about, blah, blah, memories, blah, blah.
Yeah, Spawns don't have their memories, but they go off of instinct, which I'm pretty sure he said last season too. But also we see Al was burned with a flamethrower. I think either Todd says it explicitly or we see it at this point.
No, Todd does mention the flamethrower, but we actually get to see it, and we get to hear someone being like, hey, you're going to have to speak up if you want to be heard, as he's getting burned the fuck alive.
Yeah, also more random boobs at the beginning of this thing.
Yep, random
Cagliostro's talking about how all Spawns suffer this, and once again, we see that actually kind of hints that the clown was present when Al died.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And also, the clown is obviously tormenting Al because he's like, ooh, you remembered who torched you.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what, buddy? This world ain't about trust. Stop trusting people. It's about dominance. It's about power. I'm like, it's
now shut up and keep getting souls.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
I told you to do.
Tries to get under his skin even by being like, ooh, that Wanda girl. Stop it.
Yeah, he also kind of mocks Spawn about his brooding, too. He's like, oh, you're just sitting here brooding about who killed you? Well, you need to get out there and start doing something about it.
Right. And then Cagliostro also mentions it's the hunter's moon in winter. Where predators go out because the moon is so bright. And it's just like, well, but the Hellspawn knows he's the hunted this time. I'm like, dude, that was just overkill in the last season.
He's not been in any real danger, I don't think, for a while, as of yet. We open up in Rat Alley or Rat City?
Rat Alley.
Rat Alley, yeah. We see some bums or unhoused individuals, however you want to pose it.
Bums.
They are around a fire, and they're of course still trying to offer Al some help and some help by the fire, and he's like,
man, good guy Garrett, am I right?
Garrett is too good for this world.
He really is. Honestly, of all the people in, I think it actually is Rat City, I don't remember, in the alleys, he's the guy who I wish he got like a huge pittance of money so that he could buy a house. Mm-hmm. And he deserves the best. But then of course, as Spawn's like ignoring them, Cagliostro's like, dude, they're like your friends. You should probably and of course
allies.
I have no friends.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. More angsty brooding, like they took everything from me. I'm like,
I have to protect Wanda.
Yeah.
And then find out where the other drugs are going.
Pretty much, man.
Absolutely, yes.
You know what? Perfect. Keith Richard would be so pleased.
Keith David.
I said David. It sounded like Richard. Keith David would be like so proud of you because of that spot on Spawn impression. Dude, didn't you remember? Don't you remember? You played Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh yeah, when he killed those guys,
he's the Joker.
Poor little guy.
No. When you fight the Joker, Spawn says that iconic line: "This city is ready to believe in good." Just like that. But then, of course, after we get, Spawn being all angsty and
he
bullshit.
flashes back to his funeral for a second.
Yep.
And then we've cut to Wynn talking to somebody over the phone about the missing weapons.
Yes, some known terrorist, apparently. And, Jason Wynn being evil because he's totally the bad guy.
Yeah. We see Chapel talking to him about, like, hey, man, Wynn, you're always out here starting wars and doing all kinds of crazy shit. And then he's like, hey, Chapel, don't worry about that. I need you to check out this fucking alley.
Yeah, look. I'll deal with the important stuff. You go back to the alleys. Dude, these alleys are fucking crazy. I own you, bitch.
Yeah, he's saying, Chapel, you go investigate the alleys because I need to find out where those weapons are. Chapel's like, I don't think that's important, but whatever, man. I'll go shoot up the alleys like everyone did in Season 1.
Yep.
Tony Twist, man, did in Season 1.
Tony Twist and everyone. Chapel's no exception. He just shoots down a bunch of bums and he's like, okay, I got your attention. You. Goes and drags a bum.
Yeah.
Come with me. He's like, I don't know anything. Let's talk to Al.
Yeah, I was gonna say in my notes I mentioned once again Spawn only shows up after several people are murdered.
Fucking right. Every fucking time.
Like
man.
several more people are murdered, and the guy finally mentions it's Al. He's gonna take care of you, and he's
like, oh yeah, okay, sure, whatever. And then we go back to Terry and Wanda being good parents, being like, oh, good night, Cyan.
Oh, wait, also forgot we do get a little reverse foreshadowing. As Chapel's just murdering people in the alley, he does once again say, "Speak up if you want to be heard," and then this kind of
and then flashbacks.
Like, oh shit, that's the guy.
Yep.
And we see in the flashback, we see Chapel killing a bunch of kids in that unnamed town that they're killing people in.
And of course, Al's just like, dude, this is fucking bullshit. And Chapel's like, shut the fuck up, this is fun.
Yeah. Terry goes to Win and like, hey man, I'm on the trail of this crazy shit going down. She's just like, oh wow, that's interesting.
Well, no.
Oh no,
Terry talks to Wanda about all this, and Wanda's like, dude, no, stop with the cloak and dagger stuff. I don't get it. He's like, dude, I'm really close. Bullshit explanation why he has to do it, and then leaves to do it.
Yeah, Wanda also still has the ring from Al from last season. She
from
looks
the
at
sad man.
Yep, she kind of looks at it and then kind of
cries.
Yep, she kind of cries after Terry gives her a kiss and leaves.
And then of course again, like you said,
yep,
Bum's getting tortured the fucking bullshit, and Al finally steps in and is like, hey dude, stop it. And Chapel's like, huh. Chapel's line, you can definitely tell this didn't age well, looks at Spawn and says, what is this, gay pride parade?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
Nick spits
at
him. Spawn's completely non-reactive, just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, and then they do the whole like fighty thingy. Chapel puts down an entire building on Spawn, but we all know that's not going to stop him.
Of course.
We cut
Spawn
back.
also looms over him and tosses Chapel around a little bit, saying, man, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah, we cut back to Terry literally doing some more digging.
Oh, wait, before that, Chapel does realize that it is Al.
No. Yeah, you're right. Al actually says it was him, and Chapel is in denial.
He's like, no, it's not you. You can't be.
But then before that goes any
then he shoots a
further,
rocket at him, and we
see the
time.
Right.
And then, once the guy mentioned, we actually get to see that fucking timer that's not helpful at all. The power.
Yeah, I forget it's like 8 something or other, but yeah, more powers being used up.
Did we establish, or not establish, but didn't we surmise that was probably just like his mana bar?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's virtually his mana bar.
Yep, it's just slowly running out, but not in the series will ever see it go down. But still.
But yeah, then we go to Terry, and then he's like digging deep. He found the missiles and everything. Yep. They match and everything. And then of course Wynn's like, I'm about to leave, and all of a sudden his computer's like, there's an intruder.
Yep,
there.
someone's investigating something.
And he's like, and I don't know. I want this technology where he's like, who's doing it? Why are they doing it? Yeah, what's their credit card information?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, he had the first iteration of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
those are always fun. When it says like one of those old '90s like movies and shows where the people are just like typing to a computer like, what do I supposed to do now? And then like computer would be like beep beep beep, like a specific ridiculous answer.
Right.
Those are always so funny.
Dude, best computer 10 out of 10. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Just do this, you twit.
Yeah, that's kind of making fun of that ridiculous trope, but it's very funny.
But then of course he's like, it's Terry. Yep, he's doing it.
And at home, Wanda wakes up like, oh, what's going on? I had a nightmare. But we don't really see what it's about.
But then we go back to Chapel, and of course Al's like, "Hey, guess what?"
Wait, so was it Wynn who told Terry like find the missing weapons? And he's like, "Okay, I'll find the missing weapons."
Oh no, Terry was just doing it on his own. Wynn was saying, "I need to find out who's doing this or who's behind it, and also where they went."
But however,
Terry is just like, "What's put this missing weapon shipment into? That was ours, and what happened to it?" He's like investigating on his own, even though he shouldn't be.
Okay,
don't
bother with that. Just find people.
Yeah,
no, but it was funny because Chris makes a point because in season 1 he actually mentions that the serial numbers don't add up, and Wynn did say, if you find anything out, let me know. Tell me. But in this season, totally like out the window because he did come up across something. Didn't know who did it, but he found them, and Wynn's just like, oh well. Looks like we're going to have to crack knuckles, take care of business, huh?
It's like, oh, Terry, you were supposed to find out certain information, but not that information. Oh, man, I could. How did I not see this coming? Well, I guess I got to kill you now.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, wow.
Back at the chapel,
where the homeless people are looking through the rubble because Spawn once again got hit by a rocket into a big building, and he kind of pops up like, "I'm fine, don't worry, guys."
Yeah, he pops up, and then even Chapel comes back, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're gonna get shot up." They leave. And then, of course, Al's like, hey, I'm gonna murder you. He's like, you can't be Al. You can't be. And then Spawn does the coolest thing ever. Makes him go fucking insane.
Yeah, but
touch my face. Do it now.
Yeah, he also, we learned that they were on a mission from Wynn. That was they were on. And we also learned in the past, at some point, Al took a bullet for a president, and Chapel was one who killed the guy who shot him. So he's saying, like, I'm better than you. I've actually got the missions done. They're kind of like shit talking back and forth in that weird village that they're in.
Right. Yep.
And then Chapel says that he kills. It was he finally does kill Al. And he says that was always my mission. I was sent here specifically to kill you.
Yeah, I was sent specifically to, and I did. I killed him. Who gave the order? Fucking Wynn did.
Yeah.
Oh, now we got the connection between Al and Wynn.
Yep.
And then of course he's like. Spawn does some wibbly wobbly
touch my
hell,
face. Like
touch my face, look all of the shit.
The wibbly wobbly hell magic.
Yeah, hell magic.
Pretty much. And then after the wibbly wobbly hell magic, Chapel's like, haha, like insane laugh.
Yeah,
tries to shoot himself
in the memories.
Tries to shoot himself in the mouth to kill himself. Click, click, because it always happens this way.
Of course.
Kill me! No, I'm not going to. I'm going to make you live for longer than you want. And then he literally just, like, fucking half-minds walks out, like, talking gibberish where he's like, I killed him, but he's alive. Of course he's alive. They never die.
Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. He got mind
thrust.
No,
not mind thrust.
You know what? No. You know what? It is Spawn. Spawn would totally mind thrust the man.
He might.
Yeah.
But no, like, he's more... I don't know. I feel like Crush is slightly better. Because, like, Thrust is just, like, I don't know, like, superimposing ideas. Whereas Crush is just, like, fucking die, motherfucker.
Wait. You want to picture Spawn going like this with his hand? Imitate, for those who can't see, imitates crushing someone's face. Versus puts hands behind head and just, like, pelvic thrust.
Oh, no.
But yeah, Chapel wanders off down the alley, and that's where the episode.
And he stands on the side. And he's just like he's beat up, but he is more like his brain is gone.
Oh yeah, and that is the end of the first episode.
Now, just a question of the day. Mm-hmm. When it comes to Spawn villains that we've encountered, including ones like Overkill.
Yeah, I think it might be Overt Kill.
No, it was Overkill.
I heard it both ways.
It's over as in like
I know
Underkill.
Overkill is an actual term. I think it was called Overt Kill as some kind of like weird pun or something.
Nope, it was actually Overkill, like playing on the actual word Overkill. Yeah. But yeah, so how does Chapel compare to say Overkill or someone like that?
I think he's way cooler. I love his weird little like voodoo mask thing, which they explain a little bit later.
Yep.
He's pretty much as ineffective as Overkill was.
Yeah, he really was.
I would say Tony Twist. They're all like on the same level of Tony Twist's idiot men who were just like shooting up random homeless people and like not getting anything actually done. They're getting murdered very easily by Spawn.
Like in terms of their tactics for killing, they're probably about on the same level. But in terms of like how they're built to kill people, Overkill is. Well, exactly that.
Yeah.
Overkill is a little overkill.
And Chapel, I'd say is more. Maybe not is like a bit more stealth focused, but probably not quite like not like Solid Snake levels of stealth, but he's more he has a bit more tact, I'd say.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I have to agree. Like Overkill, he looked ridiculous. He acted ridiculous. He was just all in all ridiculous. With Chapel, yes, he was as worthless as Overkill and Tony Twist Men, etc. But he had a little bit more backstory. Connected with the main character. Yeah. He also, he took a better approach. He didn't just like try to blow up an entire alleyway just for one guy.
Yep.
No, but he had different tactics that he used.
Also, I was going to say, we also saw last season when he was like sleeping with that stripper and stuff like that. He still felt bad kind of about what happened to Al. And he was kind of like, we got a little bit more depth to him when he was just like, beating people up in that club and just kind of like being a mysterious, weird badass with a weird face paint. All that was made him like a little bit more, or not a little bit, like way more interesting than fucking Overkill's idiot self.
Which is funny because you have that episode that you were talking about when he's like fucking the stripper and he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's like, ow. I'm sure she was like, what the fuck is going on?
But then you have this episode. Mm-hmm. Where he literally told Al, I was glad to do it.
Yeah, well, no, I think it was more in the flashback when he was just like, I was sent here to kill you. I think he kind of still does.
Before he had more flashbacks, he literally says that to Spawn. Mm-hmm. He's like, it was always my mission and I was glad to do it. And then after the fucking mind crush, because I think Chris wins with that one, that is more Spawn's alley.
I win.
He was just like, oh my god, what have I done? I'm like, dude, stop it. You don't even know what the fuck you're up to.
Yeah, I didn't really know much about Chapel from the comics and stuff like that. But the movie later, I know some other like stuff about comic stuff that's gonna pop up that I'm like more interested in talking about. But like I said, mainly I like Chapel's outfit. It was like his whole like very 90s like Rob Liefeld ass fucking outfits and shit. He was just like a very comic book character, and I did very much dig his design.
Yep. And then, that's so much, and that's it for this one, really. That's it for this episode, because, it's like, we're focusing on another main Spawn villain. He only lasted an episode.
Yeah, but also I'll say a good thing, because we get a fucking much, much cooler character in this episode, and I like a lot more.
Oh, yeah? In this next one?
Yeah.
Episode 2. Access denied. Nope, sorry. We gotta cut the episode. Access denied.
Yeah, also, weird thing I fucking noticed, at this point, probably was in previous episodes, somebody named Terry Fitzgerald is a producer on the show.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we actually touched on that last season.
No, I think this is when I first noticed it.
No. It, like, literally, like, after, when I was watching the first episode, after the credits, Terry Fitzgerald. I'm like, wait a minute, he's what?
Also, I was thinking, like, is that I didn't bother looking up, but like, is that the actual character from the Names comic? And I was like, is his name actually Terry Fitzgerald from the comic? And that was just an insane coincidence, or was like this guy a friend of Todd McFarlane's and they put him on the show?
Well, speaking of,
like, is this just like a producer's self-insert character?
Yeah, it'd be funny.
Right? I mean, hey, could be worse.
It happened before, I'm sure.
It could have been J.K. Rowling's insert character in Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, we're getting political.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of getting political, and speaking of which, Todd McFarlane, something. Al made a deal. Everything we know. Put it back in his grudging
undead face, and it's been 5 years.
This is all a sadistic
joke.
Yeah, this is all a sadistic joke. But Al, he's not laughing. I'm like,
he says the very like non-reactive face this time. That's very funny.
And again, no disrespect for the man. He did a good job making Spawn. It's just, oh my goodness, this is so fucking 90s.
It's very, very funny.
But then after all of that, we get
once again Cagliostro again talking about memory Spawn trouble again.
And then we get
they're talking about the Hellspawn like fucking Steve Irwin.
Yeah, right. And then we get something even crazier. We get a POV of Wanda getting fucked by Terry.
Yeah, I literally wrote dream of Terry pounding Wanda and saying that they're glad Al is dead.
But plot twist, as Wanda's getting fucked by Terry, it wasn't Terry, it was the clown all along.
Yeah, he's just being an idiot. Yeah, once again, he's just like, ugh.
After that flashback, Al's like, dude, get out of my fucking memories.
Yeah, also, he says, like, once again, he says, hey, idiot, I'm just being an asshole, but also Malbolgia fucking owns you, so get to fucking work.
Yeah, get off your fucking ass and do some shit.
Yeah, and he's making jokes about Wanda and, like, about Terry, and of course, Spawn then pulls a Will Smith and Chris Rock and says, keep my wife's name out your mouth, and literally smacks the clown. Yeah, it's so very prescient.
Yeah.
20 years later.
Consider that joke made.
He literally explicitly says, keep her name out of your mouth. And I was just like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, no. But trust me, it didn't escape me, the reference. It's just like, I'm just like sitting here like, I hope we don't make that joke. And then all of a sudden you did.
Of course I have to. It's amazingly funny.
And then, of course, the clown's just like, dude, look, I get it. I like that you're going crazy. I like it when you get rough. But I think there might be a little bit misplaced anger here. I didn't fuck your wife. I didn't steal her from you when you died. Who was it? It was Terry.
Yeah.
And Spawn's just like, oh shit, he's right.
He's like, yeah, man. It's like it's the oldest. He says it's like the oldest motivation in the world. Some of your best friends stole your woman. And it's being really shitty.
So and then we cut to a guy literally photoshopping and changing up things, making it that Terry was like making an arms deal with that fucking guy that Wynn was talking to in the last episode.
Yep, we see Wynn's talking to some tech about like or proto photoshopping something.
And I think I like this guy that works for Wynn a lot better because he's just like, yeah, Wynn, this is easy. Wynn's like, just remember, if you want to do this against me, you know what will happen. He's like, dude, fuck off. I know what you can do. I'm not fucking worried. Like, and he's like, oh, good. Yeah, good. Your money got wired to you.
Yep, and then we get Wynn gets a call saying that Terry is gone, and then he says, okay, well, I don't know where he is, but I want those missiles moved.
Yeah, I want my missiles moved now. And by the way,
put Leon and the hillbilly on it.
Yeah, get Leon with me. No, he only mentions Leon first.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh no, that's right, because he mentions two people. He mentions Leon, but he also mentions that Merrick will give that guy like the coordinates on where to move the missiles.
Yeah, but it also says like he mentioned some hillbilly.
Oh no, that's actually when someone walks in, when a lady walks in, and he's like, hey, Terry's a bad guy. So what happens with people who are bad in my company? And this sultry sounding voice is just like, oh yeah, they get liquidated. Hey, Merrick, I want you to take Leon and the hillbilly with you. And then she's like, I don't trust the hillbilly. He worked with the Russian mafia.
Yeah.
And Wynn's just like, I trust him.
Yeah, I want a job, so I trust him with that. Right. Also, finally, Merrick is the character who I absolutely love this character. She is so fucking cool in this show. And also, I think she's way better than Overkill or Chapel in terms of villains.
No, she's freaking fantastic.
I know.
She is.
So
yeah, she's actually got cunning, and I like it.
Yeah.
But which we'll find out later. But after that conversation happens, Terry returns to Wanda and she's like, "Oh, you're back. You were gone for hours." He's like, "I am fucking in way too deep right now. Yeah. I'm gonna be gone for a few days."
Also,
wow. And she's like, she's starting to get upset because she's like, "Hey,
you're a daughter. You gotta be around and be a father."
Well, not only that, but she's also like, you're acting like Al did.
Yeah, obviously, we glossed over it last episode, possibly, that she mentioned Al was always, on crazy-ass missions and putting himself in danger and gone for long stretches of time. But that's when he said, like, hey, I'm a desk jockey. Don't worry about that. I'm just in my desk all day. And that's when we, like, cut back to it. And then, now, he literally comes home the next day. Oh, my God, I got to disappear for a couple of days. I'm in danger.
Yeah, she's like, dude, you're pulling it out. Stop it. And even he's like, dude, stop that. Do not bring that man up.
Yeah, and she says, hey, man, don't worry. We you have to trust me. And she's like, fine, I guess I trust you. And then we see a small listening device inside their house.
Yep. And then we see the guy outside listening in, and then he gets killed by Spawn.
Yeah, Spawn pops up in the truck and breaks the guy's hand.
Yep. Yeah, he fucking murders him. And that's right, I actually put in my notes, random jagoff monitoring, Terry gets killed by Spawn. And that's how important Spawn's role is at the beginning. It's just like, random jackoff is just like, yeah, I'm listening in because I work for Wynn. All of a sudden, dead.
Yep.
Killed those speaking of dead, but not quite, Chapel actually gets picked up by the cops, and Burke is just like, what the fuck? It took 10 guys to bring this guy in? What is he, doped up? And Twitch, being the rational one, is just like, no, we didn't find any traces of drugs in him. However, they do think it might be very, very in the head kind of damage.
Yeah, and also his, this is when Twitch mentions his face paint is kind of like tribal.
Yeah, they finally get in into the room, and that's when we find out it's like, ritualistic African tribal symbolism on his face. The skull means death. Me sitting here just like, are you sure? Are you sure it doesn't mean life?
Yeah, it's the 90s.
Maybe it
they don't know anything.
Fluffy kittens.
Card.
And then Chapel kind of snaps out of it.
While they're talking to him and they're kind of interviewing him, he is in chains inside the police office.
Yeah, he's in a chair. His hands are behind his back. Literally thick ass chains bolted to the floor.
One of them, I don't know if it's Sam or Twitch, steps on the chains and it rattles and it freaks him out as he's triggered by Spawn's.
Yeah, or by the chains. He's just like, oh, Al, what the? Oh my goodness, I killed him, and Burke's just like, confessions of a nutcake.
Yeah, this is not helpful. We cut to Spawn following Terry.
Actually, before that, Wynn gets a call from the police chief.
Cop, yeah.
And he's just like, hey, we got your guy, has a skull painted on his face. Wynn's like, I want him cut loose. No, you don't, because right now he looks like he's been through a war. He's going really fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll deal with it myself. Spawn then is following Terry, and Terry gets chased by 2 cars.
Yep, he's almost knocked off the road and crashes into another car.
Yep, and then we find out that 2 big burly men and, you guessed it, Merrick appear.
Yep.
Merrick is just like, yeah, see this picture right here?
Photos.
That's you. Yeah, we got evidence that you've been being a bad man. And Terry's like, dude, fuck off. That's bullshit.
Oh yeah, even though wasn't that a doctored photo too?
Yeah, it was photoshopped.
Yeah, it was a very doctored photo.
Earlier in the episode.
And then she's like, oh, is that what you're gonna say? Well, congratulations. puts gun to his head. You just resisted arrest.
Yeah, exactly. Before they can kill him, Spawn, of course, again takes out the 2 dudes because that's all he does.
well, he doesn't. That's right. It's not the 2.
No, it's Merrick and then 2 randos.
Yeah, 2 randos. Yeah, the 2 randos get killed. Terry runs away, and of course Merrick's like, "Hey, Leon, I'm gonna need that backup right now because Terry's got some help with him."
Yep, Terry runs off into the building, and this is when he first meets that first security guard.
Yeah, the fat guy.
Yeah, and he kind of holds a gun to him, saying, "Hey, let me in the building. I gotta get out of here." But,
just let me in. And the guy's just like, "Dude, I just work here, man."
Yeah.
And then afterwards, after he like looks at all this shit, like where he needs to go and stuff, he ties the cup and he's like, "Hey, dude, what? Come on, man."
This is when we finally meet Leon, and he says, "Hey, man, I don't like this setup. Like, we have an unknown asset. He's inside of a building that I don't have the schematics for. This is a really, really shitty setup. What's going on?"
And Merrick's like, "Hey, Leon, relax. I got your back."
Yep.
And then, of course, we got the hillbilly being like, "Hey, I'm hillbilly."
Yeah, I'm hillbilly, and I'm going to be perverted to Merrick because I'm a creep.
Okay,
like
but guys, just you fellow listeners, you might be saying, "Oh, well, maybe they mentioned his name. Does he even have a name?" No, they literally call him just the hillbilly.
Oh yeah,
he literally has no name whatsoever, and his only personality is being a hillbilly, being creepy about Merrick. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then maybe guns.
Yeah, and guns. Yes.
Yeah, and this is when Leon gives us a little bit of backstory on Merrick, that she was captured and tortured by the Russian mob when she was working with Leon in past missions.
Yep. And then, so it's like, dude, nobody should fuck with her.
Yeah, and she's like, after that, she literally went back and killed every single one of them.
Yep. And then,
Terry wanders around the warehouse for a while, just kind of stumbling through doors.
Goes on a computer.
Yep.
Actually finds where the missiles are located.
Yeah.
But then, is trying to Solid Snake his way through, getting caught obviously, and starts getting fired upon.
More Autocon than Solid Snake.
and even Merrick,
it's just like my Japanese animes.
Shut the fuck up. But Merrick actually goes into where that security guard is, and the guard's just like, "Dude, you need to call the cops. Someone's in here breaking in," and dead.
Yep. Yeah, of course.
Shot in the head.
Yep, they track down Terry and they just start shooting up the place crazy violently.
Yep, and then it all goes well except for that one time when Terry actually gets shot.
Yep.
And then he actually gets on the stairs, and as he's like in one of those like staircases,
and all this is intercut with Spawn just kind of watching and not helping very much.
Yeah, well, once we get to actually when Terry got shot. And it's going down the stairs.
When they
Hold
find a security guard earlier and they kill the security and look at the cameras, we do see Spawn start taking out the cameras.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is going on?
Right, because Merrick's just like, "Hand, what?"
Yep.
And then of course, as Terry's going down the stairs, you get the clown like, "Dude, he's right there. Fucking kill him. He fucked your wife."
Yeah,
he's like, helpful. And Spawn's just like, "Dude, I want to know the truth first before I start murdering this guy."
Yep, I said Spawn continues to loom and follow and not directly help at all.
And then, of course, we get to a weird cop who is, like a weird security guard who's making a dating profile.
Yeah, it's very cute. And it's just like...
And of course,
Terry comes up with a gun again and is like, "Hey, open up the vault."
I want this vault open now. And then she opens it up and, he finds out, holy shit, the missiles are here. Opens it up, sees like a form in it, and he finds out that, you guessed it, guys, Wynn's the bad guy?
Yeah, Wynn's behind it all. What the hell?
He's not shady at all.
Yep, finally Merrick does spot him on one of the still active cameras and says, "Hey guys, he's there." And then of course the 2 guys show up. They kill the female guard who's running away.
But before anything else happens, Spawn this is when Spawn like grabs Terry and is like, "Hey, I'ma read your fucking mind."
Yeah.
And then he finds out that, oh my god, not only is Terry actually an okay guy, but he even gave the okay, like, "Dude, if something bad happens,
take care of my wife." That's what
just take care of my wife. And so he's just like, "Oh shit, you're actually cool.
You're actually a man of your word."
Yeah. Leaves, and then the hillbilly and Merrick and Leon appear.
Yeah, they finally catch him.
And it's like, "Wow, this was fun, but you're gonna have to die now." Terry's like, "I'm gonna shoot these missiles."
And you're like, "Yeah, no, you wouldn't."
No, you're not. And you're like, he's like, "You're right." Shoots the power box, makes everything go dark, and he actually like escapes to the top of the roof.
Yep. And of course, the clown continues to goad Spawn, saying, "Kill him. What are you talking about? Who cares?
Dude,
who cares if you get permission?
You gave permission and everything. So what?
Yeah,
He fucked your wife."
Yep, we see the guys finally, again, I've said this, the baddies corner Terry again, and this time on the roof, like the 5th time in this episode. And Spawn finally helps. And of course he takes him out very easily and causes a massive explosion on the roof of the building. Yep. I saw a thing about it, like, yeah, what the fuck was that water tank on top of the building made of? Gasoline?
Probably.
He shut it up and it exploded in the fire.
Probably.
Why is there a gasoline water tower?
No, it's just like whatever random.
I don't
why is there flammable liquid up there?
I don't know, man. But
Merrick is finally like, fuck this shit and leaves.
Yeah, Merrick nopes the fuck out. Leon and the hillbilly fucking die. And then Spawn's like, hey Terry, you're not gonna die. Here you go. Healing. And then, there.
Caglio says, Spawn, you let Terry go. You're curing the curse by doing this good thing and helping people.
And Spawn finally does it. He looks at it like,
wait a minute.
What the fuck are you talking about, old man?
Like, wait a minute, why do you have...
You've been talking in the distance and narrating episode after episode and talking about and hanging out in the slums. Who the hell are you? What are you talking about? We're finally going to address this.
And the only answer we get is, you're not the only one who got cursed, son.
Yeah.
And episode ends there. Oh, and by the way, what Chris said about, you've been sitting there narrating this entire show... We found out in season 1, he's doing it literally talking out loud.
Yeah.
I guess the bums are just like he
says crazy stuff.
He
but
does this.
he says weird shit.
But yeah, so I already had your answer to this, but hey, we got introduced to Merrick.
Yeah, Merrick.
What do you think?
Merrick
was going to be my question, but you already.
Of course, Merrick is fucking dope and probably one of my favorite characters of this series. As little as she gets, and as like completely outclassed she is by Spawn, because Spawn is just ridiculously powerful for what he fights in this season. She is so fucking interesting. Her backstory is interesting. Her skill, she's actually very professional. Voice acting is incredible. She's just like a really fun, cool '90s tough woman design. It's just, and also she reports directly to Win. It's so fun. Every scene with her and Win is great. Even her and Leon and that other idiot were very interesting.
Right.
I'm very curious. Leon didn't get fucking any play whatsoever. He's like a really cool design, like these tiny little circle glasses and shaved blonde head, but completely non-character that gets murdered very quickly by Spawn like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. What about you, Chris?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Merrick. We got introduced to Merrick, the lady.
I honestly not much to say yet. Because at this point, she's just been kind of there and listening to Win and executing and delegating orders. But I mean, yeah, she's got a cool demeanor. I don't think she's really done much at this point yet. I don't think. Well, no. She did kind of lead the others to the missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, it is the first episode, and unlike Chapel and Overkill,
she actually survives her episode introduction.
She actually is lasting longer than one episode. I mean, she ran away. That's all we know.
Well, yeah, she's also she actually saw Spawn in action and was like, okay, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike those other two idiots who kind of shot a missile at him and then got killed next scene.
Right, yeah. And then...
Also, this is the beginning of Terry's arc for the rest of the season, which is him just on the run, which is, honestly, I do enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, this is so great because now we had an episode that was not very focused on Spawn.
Yeah, and also setting up the main dynamic for the episode: Terry on the run and Win and Merrick trying to fucking kill him and getting fucking outclassed again by Spawn at every turn because Spawn can do anything and is completely ridiculously powerful.
Because Spawn's the hero who can do anything.
Yeah, pretty much in this season with what he's up against. Yeah, it's very funny.
Yep. And then we get to the halfway point, the third episode.
We're not the halfway point until after this episode, technically.
And no, your point. You're right. You have a good point. But either way, it is episode 3 of season 2, Colors of Blood.
Now, okay, we got now everyone. We've had a lot of laughs, and it's been a very fun time. But now it's time for a very special episode of Spawn. Because this one is about drug dealers and how drugs are bad. It's a very special... It's completely, totally weird from the rest of the series.
And it's about religion.
Yeah, religion too. Absolutely. Yeah. It's the first bit about religion, but also, this is the most honestly, I don't want to get ahead of feelings by the episode, but it's the first straight up filler feeling episode of the series. That's so weird.
And we do...
Todd again, of course.
Yeah, Todd's something world is horrible and violence and stuff. Yeah. Something people use faith and fate to try to fix the problems.
The pain, yeah.
But problem is the stuff that's good for us can actually be what's bad in disguise. Blah blah.
Yep, it's about addiction and how painful the world is, and of course Cagliostro once again is talking about how the city is rough, and the bums in the alley are having a hard time.
Hard time. And then we see a guy stumbling in the alleys.
We see Cagliostro talking, but then of course we see Cagliostro not help some guy stumbling in an alley.
You mean Spawn?
No, Cagliostro, because Cagliostro says does he know his actions hurt those close to him? We said does Spawn know? And he's narrating while this guy's walking down the alley, obviously fucked up. And it's just does he know that his actions hurt people close to him? Then we cut to Wynn visiting Wanda and talking about Terry and how Terry needs to turn himself in. We have these he might be in trouble.
And she's like, dude, it's Terry. You know Terry. He's a Boy Scout. He doesn't do these things. And Wynn's like, you're right. He doesn't. But this is still a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Look. You already lost one husband. Would be ashamed to lose another. I'm like, really? You're pulling the would be ashamed card?
He's still being slightly coy about it, but at least.
And of course, Terry would
be ashamed if something happened to your husband, and I mean that would absolutely be a shame. And I certainly am not implying that I'm a mafia boss and would do anything.
It would be a shame
or give any kind of orders. Yeah,
it would be a shame if I had to kill your second husband also, like I killed your first husband. I
definitely didn't do that. Or what do the other thing?
You gotta calm down. This is the cartoon Spawn. This isn't the movie Spawn.
Oh yeah. Also, I was gonna say we can do a tangent in the middle of an episode. In the movie, was it Wynn that was?
Yeah, Wynn was the bad guy.
No, was Wynn with Wanda in the movie?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, that's what I remember. That was actually a more weird dynamic. And also, there's a lot of other stuff about Wynn that I'll get to later in the episode that's different from the comics, too, because the comics, I love Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
Terry's
at a bar.
Yeah, I thought it was a diner.
It might be.
Yeah,
it's one or the other. But either way.
Waitress is trying to be nice, but he's being very distant, saying, I gotta go.
And she was just like, dude, I wasn't trying to pry. I'm like, dude, don't be rude to her. She was being nice.
Yep. He goes over to try to make a call to Wanda, and in the background we hear Wanda say, oh, yeah, thanks, Wynn. Oh, hey, Terry, what's up? And he's like,
oh, no. She doesn't know who it is. She's just like, hold on a second, Wynn. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? And, Terry just like, oh, fuck. I just found out that, dead. He's bad. So, hangs up.
Yep.
You good?
I'm sorry. I was just reminded of a completely different, horror, completely unrelated meme, it's probably not worth the airtime to talk about it now.
Now you brought it up, you have to.
Okay, well, fuck. Okay. Do you guys ever see the meme of someone having a text conversation and speaking ooh so cute voice, and they're talking about I'm drowning, help me Mr. Obama.
Oh no. Help me Mr. Obama. Yeah, I know that meme.
Hello? I do not, but that sounds very funny.
It is. Yeah, the person who voiced that is he's an absolute godsend.
Was it because I went hello?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Because Mr. Obama. Yeah, when I started saying that, that's when I saw you start to chuckle.
I'm just like, God damn it, Brain, why?
You know what? Now from now on, when Terry talks, hello, Wanda.
I hate this.
You created it, Chris.
I created nothing. You're running with it, bro.
Yeah. Hey. When an idea is so funny or so good, I'm not going to say it's a bad idea because this is hilarious.
Oh my lord!
I think about that one anime clip where the guy was just Obama pops up in the anime and just hello, Mr. Flag, and he's like, Obama.
Oh, no. But hey. Speaking of, your important thing, because we joke around a lot.
No, we'll go.
We go to the alley where.
Oh no! Before that, we have a nice little scene of Sam and Twitch driving around while Sam eats donuts.
Because of course he does.
Only a dozen. He's on a diet.
Yeah, he's on a diet. Only one does.
Hey, just so you know, Twitch, these donuts are amazing by the dozen. I'm like, yes, we get it. You're the fat cop.
Yeah, he's the fat cop. But he's also very, very good at his job.
Actually, yes.
And we see finally two crackheads beating up a bum, and finally the cops pull over and stop them from doing it.
Almost hitting the bum.
Of course, yeah, that's ridiculous. They know him as Hank, and Hank says that, don't worry, the Guardian will protect me. And it's like, okay, this guy is very crazy.
This guy needs some sleep. Case dismissed.
Yep. And then finally we meet the dealers as we see them kind of driving around recruiting some kids. It's which one's at this point is it? Is it the crazy haired one and the main bald or the secondary bald one?
In this one, I think it's the It's the
one we learned is the brother.
Yeah, it's the two brothers. Yeah.
No, I thought it was the brother and like the sketchy
I thought the
guy.
bald one was like the main dealer.
Yes,
There's
the
two
bald
bald
guy with
ones.
the weird cross.
Yeah, there's the bald leader of the group, and then there's the like asshole bald one who is his brother.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. The two people who were recruiting.
I don't remember.
Donnie was the scrawny guy.
Okay.
But actually, it's the main guy with like the weird upside down cross tattooed on the back of his head, and like the bouncer guy.
Yeah, the big guy.
Are walking. Yeah, the big bouncer guy.
And they see two kids, and they're kind of like, "Hey, kids,
hey brother, come on, you can do the Lord's work."
Yeah, and we see him kind of like being cool with these kids, and then we see Sam and Twitch roll up and kind of rough them up, and like they're kind of like, "Hey man, what are you talking about?" They make them look bad in front of the cops. Look bad in front of the kids who they're trying to recruit, which is probably going to push those kids towards the life of crime, which is unfortunate. But that's like the point of it. We see that the preacher deals in addiction, and he wants.
Yeah, he does.
And he's like, as he's like doing his business, he says he wants some bums gone from the alley, of course, because that's how this goes.
Yep. Yeah, and he's also like, hey, give your donations for the church is open. And a guy writes a check.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you fucking talking about? Get the check out of here. I'm like, this guy obviously has never dealt with drugs.
Dude, fucking work tangent, the fucking vet hospital, emergency hospital I work with, I fucking hate checks. And it's exclusively older, weird people who fucking still write checks, and it's the most obnoxious thing in the world. You two, have you ever written a check in your life for like a personal deposit from like a friend? I mean, like for like a transaction.
Yeah, I used to. I used to send checks for. I think like my last apartment complex. They as just part of rent. Yeah, it was off.
I fucking hate checks.
I did send checks. Actually, I did send checks to my bank because I had a loan, and they wanted checks. Only checks.
That is so weird.
Yeah, it was.
Checks fucking suck. They take like an hour to process at work too. I hate them so much.
Look, I know they're like annoying to write out, but I was going to ask when you receive check, what's annoying about that? An hour to process?
No, it's not it's just the process of it. I have to like go to a specific computer that has a check reader. We have to run it through the check reader, get their ID, write down all this shit, have them sign this other form, and it's just like. And also, I know the checks take a while to go through. It's just a very, very laborious process to have to deal with at an emergency hospital.
oh, sure. But I mean, I figured that like most of that was just like automated, but apparently
not. It's not. It's very shitty. And also, just personally, I don't like checks because I fucking hate having to deal with them. I'd rather just deal with a card or fucking cash even.
I see.
You know, cash is gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy's trying to pay a check. I'm just like, I get it, man. I sympathize with you, preacher. I'd fucking throw this guy to the crack house too.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, but would you rather cash or Bitcoin?
If someone fucking tried to pay with Bitcoin, I'd steal their dog away from them and beat them up in the front of my hospital. Fucking no.
Bitcoin, I would beat them up and steal their dog. Oh my lord.
Well, hey, you gotta check the dog out, make sure that it's healthy, because if they try to pay with Bitcoin, that dog might not be getting all the nutrition he needs.
Oh god.
Yeah. But yeah, we get more of the
we meet Joe the bum who sneaks around, kind of like staring at the dealers, and they're like, "Hey, we want that guy out of here." That's when they send the two guys after him. He keeps mentioning, of course, the Guardian's gonna get you guys. The Guardian's gonna kill you guys. Even though I think this is a different guy than the previous homeless guy we saw. I could barely tell them apart.
Correct, because apparently, people have been talking in Rat Alley or whatever.
A great guardian shall protect us. The great guardian, Al Simmons.
Yeah. Al Simmons will protect us.
This is why we don't use his real name. It's just the Guardian.
I mean, let's be real. When you put it that way, that sounds fucking stupid. Oh, the Guardian. What's his name? Al.
Yeah,
Al Simmons.
Al's gonna get you. And of course, as usual, Al does not help, and the guy gets killed.
as usual, then they call upon him, and he's just brooding.
Yep, he's just brooding over a rooftop, and the guy is murdered by the dealers. And this is when we see a procession of the unhoused individuals taking the guy who was just killed down into the sewer.
Yep, and there's like, oh man, it always happens this way.
Yeah, we see.
Don't worry, the Guardian will help us. Will he though?
Yeah.
Is he just a story?
This is when we finally meet Lucy, who's like an older homeless lady who's crying over Joe's body, and she's saying, "Don't worry, the Guardian will avenge him. The Guardian will do something about it." And of course, Al's kind of just like sitting there watching, like, huh. Anyway, Wanda. He kind of flashes.
Wanda.
Yeah, he kind of like thinks about Wanda and is very upset about her and all these people who are like depending on him. We see Hank and Garib talk about Al not helping, which I'm like, yeah, thank you for finally mentioning it.
Yeah.
And then Al is like, hey, Al, why didn't you help him? He cares about you, and we all rely on you. And then Al says he does not care about them, and this place fucking sucks. And he says, I can't help. He's still in his emo phase. He's very like, I don't want to help. And you guys, this fucking town sucks.
But it's even funnier because the bums still don't, like, demonize him for it. He's just like, I don't care about you. Like, he literally looked at them in the face and like, you guys don't mean a damn thing to me. And even Garib's like, he's a nice guy.
Oh, don't worry.
Like, oh, I know you don't mean that, buddy. Give me a hug.
I will hug you with my chains.
Yeah,
I'll accept it.
Yeah, it's very, very ridiculous.
It's a silly dynamic. Yes.
And once again, we see the dealers are roughing up one of the other homeless people. They're looking for the skinny henchman with the long hair.
Yep, because apparently he's missing and he took the Bible.
Yep, he has the Bible, and they start looking for him. As we see, like that's where we saw earlier.
And this is also the part when the one lady comes home.
Yeah, Lucy
drunk,
comes out. Yeah, Lucy's like,
and Donnie's being a fucking creep in this.
Yep, Donnie's being like, oh yeah, I like her. Oh, like she makes her dance for them, and she kind of like very drunkenly dances and kind of embarrassing.
And the guy,
come on, leave my wife alone, please.
Yeah, the guy's like
very sad scene.
Yeah, and actually is just like, stop it. And even the actually stands up for himself.
Yeah.
And the bald guy, the main henchman, who I swear.
Also, you know that the homeless guy whose wife is named Arnie, and her name is Lucy. The guy's Arnie. But yeah, Arnie, and of course, as usual, intermittent with this is Spawn just kind of staring like, All
right, hey, but real talk for you specifically, Matt, because unfortunately Chris won't know what I'm talking about. That main, the main drug dealer guy with like the cross and everything. Tell me he does not look and sound like the lead singer of Disturbed.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's very like a really aughts 90s fucking like
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. That guy, the lead singer of Disturbed, he's a fucking great guy. Mm-hmm. I've seen some clips of him at the concert, and he's a really fucking cool guy. Yeah. This guy, for some reason, this character just happens to look and almost sound like that guy.
He's a very, like I said, early aughts 90s like rock like punk guy outfit, like a style about him, which I think is a pretty interesting style for the most part. Right.
And then of course he's just like, hey, come on, Donnie. Will you just get over here? I don't want you to get beat the fuck up by a bum.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we hear a gunshot, and we hear Arnie crying because his wife is dead now.
Yeah, and he sees that Lucy has been killed, who's been like the emotional heart of this episode.
Yep.
Al flashes back to innocents getting killed in the war, and he's like, man, that reminds me of that other people who like get killed. And finally, he's just like, or it says, the homeless people again are saying like, hey, we need to, dispose of her body as well. She was afraid of the sewers, which you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, well, it's so like, hey, why don't we bury her like the others? And Arnie's just like, no, she was afraid of the sewers. Yeah. So, and I promised her I'd keep her warm. So they burn her body.
Yep, they burn her above the land, and then we see the muscle henchman finally finds the idiot skinny guy, and he's kind of smoking up their drugs in an alley. And they're like, hey man, you fucking idiot, what are you doing? And of course I wrote, Spawn finally acts and takes these two out very easily, like he could have at any point during this show.
Right? It's just like, finally he does something.
Yep. And
it's like that one character from like DBZ, but not Beerus, like the one who's like this character is like the most powerful character in the show, and they don't do anything.
Weiss is also.
He's literally like Chris was
the most powerful character in the show, but never does anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I know what he's mentioning too, because in the Team 4-star DBZ Abridged, Vegeta is trying to get away from second form Frieza. He's like, I'll just go to this planet. Nobody ever goes to this planet when their species just immediately like repopulated miraculously. And it's a bunch of the have you seen the episode of the Bardock movie?
Yeah.
The weird fish guy who gives him like the premonition powers.
Yeah.
It's those guys. And in the Abridged series, they all go, I can see the future. And they all just start saying random things, and one of them goes, Whis is the most powerful character of all, but he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
But I like how you pointed that out, because it's true.
Yeah.
Whis is actually supposedly.
Oh no, the angels of all the universes who are accompanying the gods of destruction are more powerful than their gods.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they don't do shit.
They never do anything.
Just like Al Simmons.
Yeah,
he's like the most powerful person right now of everything. He's proven to it many times, but he doesn't do shit.
Yeah, no,
until it's too late.
He waits till at least per episode a handful of unhoused individuals are murdered, and then he'll finally act. It's very unhelpful. We see Preacher and the main henchman, who is his brother, and we find out at some point. They find their bloody remnants of their people, and they're like, "What the hell's going on? We got to split up and find them." And then finally, the main dealer finds his boys all strung up and beaten up and full of holes and dead in the alley. And he kind of wandering around, threatening, "Hey, who did this? I'm gonna kill you guys." And what was it? He wanders in an alley, finally finds "Oh, there you are," and he sees some ropes. He shoots it up, and it's actually his brother who's tied up in the thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and then of course, once again, Spawn finally just kills the guy, the main deal, by dragging him off into the darkness.
And then it's kind of weird the way they cut this was because you see Spawn dragging the guy, his nails literally digging into the ground.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you see the how did you call them? Not bums, but
unhoused people.
Unhoused individuals carrying someone like they do with every other dead body. You hear Cagliostro being all Cagliostro-y and talk, and blah, blah, blah.
He says, "Has Spawn found humanity, or was he just protecting his territory?"
And then,
either way, Malbolgia wins.
Yep. And then at the very end, you see out in the middle.
Find out next time on the next episode of Spawn.
Yeah, Spawn. Next episode is will Spawn help? On the next episode, you'll find out Spawn doesn't help.
Until the very last second. But then at the very last scene you see the dead body of the fucking main preacher guy just floating in the water. Yeah. And then it ends.
Yep, that's the end of the episode.
So, guys, because we jumped the gun a little bit. Mm-hmm. So Spawn, we've mentioned, he really doesn't like helping until the very last second, until it's it actually is too late.
Of course, yeah.
So, place your bets, kids. When is he gonna actually stop doing this, or if he's ever going to?
I think proportionally, this might be the last episode where he does his whole not helping while the people get killed. I think this might be the last time it happens. I'm not sure, but I think this looks close to it. Actually, no, wait, never mind. I just remembered the next episode. But no, I think for the most part, he does try to slow it down, but I love at least they lampshaded how unhelpful he is. What the fuck is he even doing? It's very fun. It's very what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he's very much trying to resist the urge to kill. Just because it's that's what Malbolgia wants, right? Yeah. So he's I hate this fucker. I hate that fucking clown. I will not harvest more souls.
Yeah, and also
unless they personally offend me.
Yeah. Also, the whole mechanics stuff. I wish I checked up on the comics on how any of the mechanics of this work. But the people Spawn kills and the actual mechanics of how they end up as Hellspawn or they end up in Hell's Army is very confusing to me, because when we find out the actual nature in the comics of what happened to Spawn and how he ended up working for Malbolgia is way different than what this show implies. And so I'm gonna be what the fuck is going? What is so anybody he kills who's bad goes there? And then why would the people of Hell be sending people from Hell to kill more people who are bad? And also what the clown is doing is also very confusing, because the fucking clown just kills Billy Kincaid. I'm just why couldn't he do that? Originally doesn't. It's very weird mechanics on how any of this works.
dude. You know why you can't understand it? Yeah. You're a person. You're not a Hellspawn. You're not from Hell.
I was going to say, well, I honestly, as the most omnipotent person, a comic book reader, I know how on the grand scale of things everything works out, including what the actual motives of heaven and hell are on a much grander scale.
Okay, question.
But on this level, I'm very what the fuck is happening?
Okay, question. Yeah. You say you understand how heaven and hell works. Mm-hmm. What universe?
In Spawn's universe. I'll say that specifically because I know what happens to people who go to quote-unquote heaven and people who go to hell in this universe, and what's going to ultimately happen between the battle between the heavenly powers and the hell powers and their actual motivations.
Yeah, okay, because I was going to say, because you said you're the omniscient one. You're a comic book reader. I'm okay, which heaven and hell?
That's right, because didn't we touched on that episode of that one warrior hunter lady, right? That
yes, Angela.
Yeah, fighting Hellspawn, trying to find that new Hellspawn.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Trust me. Hey, you want to hear
let's relitigate that for another hour.
No. I'm just gonna say, for any of you who have no idea what Chris is talking about, just watch the first episode of Spawn. You'll hear me rant about that.
Of course, yeah.
And again,
the Spawn podcast specifically.
Yeah. The season 1 of Spawn. Of Spawn, but yeah, just go back to that one. I'm not gonna go through that again.
Yeah, it's
I am upset about it, but it's not really worthy of bringing it back. But
yeah, well, besides the legal battle of Angela's copyrights, of the actual the only glimpse of the heaven stuff we've seen so far is that one episode where the weird office building with all the women working in it who were presumably angels like Angela.
Yeah.
They weren't doing anything, of course, like Spawn, but they were like, we never get any more follow up on how that works. And it's just like, I wish they would have went into that more than watching Spawn not help homeless people who get murdered for like a lot of episodes, stretches of episodes. But also, I know this series gets very, very high concept. Like I said, it's going to be very, very bizarre to talk about the actual like end of this world and like, what happens in it. It's very cool. But like, also we get to meet a character who I'll be able to expound on more about like what the actual nature of quote unquote heaven and hell is in Spawn, which is very interesting. Next season.
Oh, in the next season?
Yeah. Spoiler alert, the Wanda's mother, the old lady, when she's like super religious and stuff, and like watching this, you should be considered like, wait a minute, yeah, we're seeing a lot of hell's POV, but like, what the fuck is the opposite of this? And it's very interesting when we get to there. But yeah, I the homeless, there was a very, like I said, very after school special, very serious episode because it wasn't about the grand plot. It was just about drugs and like 90s drug panic and stuff like that, and it was like a very weird outlier of an episode who I could say was possibly a filler episode because I don't think this has too much effect on Al's motives going on for like a while because the next couple of episodes are all still much more main story focused.
The drug dealer definitely felt like a villain of the week.
Oh yeah,
he really did. Yeah, and I mean, as Matt said, I know he was joking around when he said it, but. Yes, drug dealings are still a very bad thing. We do not condone that kind of thing. We may joke around about certain concepts, but it's more of the portrayal of it.
Oh no, I was being facetious because this episode was very weirdly heavy-handed compared to the
the
level of murder and private military corporations that they're also talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're joking around, having fun, but it's mainly the portrayal of this and how heavy-handed it was. Just we don't condone that stuff. Legal stuff aside now. It's time to get to probably the heaviest episode.
I was gonna say let's get this line. Go to the next episode.
Hey, let's be to be quite honest. This one's probably the heaviest hitting one, just because of the theme. And I mean, when you look at the title, it says everything. Yeah. I mean, I kind of subtitled each of the episodes on my notes, home bitter home. Spawn makes chapel crazy. Access denied. Terry is actually an okay guy. Colors of blood. Why is it always religious junkies? This one's subtitle is The Racist Episode.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, before we go to the next episode, though, also, like I keep hinting at the main nature of the heavens in this world. Also, the fact that this episode, we didn't really touch on it at all, but the homeless people's POV of Spawn being like, I don't care about you guys, and like them being like, the Guardian's gonna save us, we didn't really talk about it, but a very explicit, like, he is their god or angel, and they're like praying to him, but he is completely unhelpful and not really intervening in their lives at all.
Religious overtones.
Yeah, it was a very in the show about a hell spawn. It's like very explicitly like, hey, this this guy doesn't care about you. Which I wonder if that's going to be a hint to the actual nature of God in the Spawn universe, being like, I really don't give a shit about you guys. I don't give a shit about you guys. Why are you worshiping me? I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit.
I really hope it turns out that way. And not just because I have a bias against basically any organized religion.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you, bud. But no, I was gonna say, I'm gonna when we end the series, because it's end in the next season, I'm gonna like give you guys you guys give me 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna tell you the entire ending of the Spawn world and the actual final battle between heaven and hell, which is so fucking fantastic. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't realize that until reading too much literally this time. Spawn is supposed to be like a god or guardian angel, and he's very indifferent and does not give a shit about these people.
Yeah, Chris is like, I hope it's like that. Me looking at Matt like, about that.
But yeah, that's a very, very interesting allegory for Al.
Yes, but now
a great Al allegory.
Son of a bitch.
Well,
yeah,
I'm here for the puns and the memes, guys. That's why you have me.
Oh yeah.
But now it is time to get to episode 4, as I subtitled it, the racist episode.
Yep.
Or as it's actually called, Send in the clowns! Hell yeah! Boom! Thank you, Matt!
That was actually kind of impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
We did not plan that. I thought I was gonna fuck him over with that, and then you did the exact same thing. Hell yeah!
Sharing a brain cell!
Hell yeah,
yes! But seriously, it's actually pronounced Send in the KK clowns.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, hey Matt, Speaking as the only individual in this room right now
Yeah,
of color, how does this episode start?
Well, bam, a big old Nazi flag and some Klan masks.
Hey.
Todd talking about the nature of is the devil made in the image of man himself.
Hey, you know what happens if you take off the hood of a Klansman? What happens if you take off the swastika of a stormtrooper? They look like normal dudes, right?
Yeah.
The swastika of a stormtrooper.
Yeah, well, they were called
That's what they're
stormtroopers.
called.
like IRL?
Yeah,
IRL. That wasn't just taken from
No,
Star Wars?
Star Wars uses the term from Nazis. They're called stormtroopers.
Oh!
You know,
Learn
from
something
the
every day.
dictatorship that is the Imperials.
Oh!
Yeah,
I did not know about that.
Oh, well, yeah. Hey, guess what?
Well,
The more
today
you
I
know.
learned.
You learned a thing.
Yay, American history.
Hell yeah. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway,
This country was found on bad things.
or as Chris likes to quote Markiplier, America was founded on "fuck you."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We start on some weird stylized Klans people, I think. They're like killing people, and I think are we like biting people? Question mark.
Oh no! They're just sitting on horses, and then you just hear this really kind of strangely sultry male voice.
Yeah,
And I will admit that the horses looked like just something like straight out of hell.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
like very demonic looking, like weird stylized outfit of these Klan, what I assume are like black outfitted Klansmen. And so we really hear a racist guy who's giving a speech about purity, and he says that he is preparing the way for Malbolgia.
Yep, for his Lord Malbolgia.
Yep. We see him torturing and first we see him like in a cab, and he's kind of like driving around with some guy, and then we cut to him torturing the said guy in his warehouse.
But what about the taxi driver guy? What do you notice about the guy in the warehouse? What's he wearing?
A yarmulke.
He's wearing a yarmulke. Take note on this, folks, because the subtlety on the whole racism thing. That is as subtle as it gets.
Yeah. Also, it's very weird because he says this is nothing personal as he begins to torture the guy.
Yeah, okay, so sorry, I'm gonna have to stop this right now because we need to talk about this dynamic of this villain.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Well, no, it's not the fact that I don't. It's not that I don't get it.
I also do want to like preamble this episode as like important or whatever as like the topic of racism or whatever. Also specifically with Al, this episode when I first watched it. I think I fell asleep during this episode when I first saw it like forever ago. I literally like fell asleep watching it, and then like the episode was over, and I was like, oh, whatever. And then rewatching it for this episode, I was like, oh, I probably should have been not have fallen asleep for this episode the first time I watched it.
Yeah,
Rip.
but it's not that I don't understand the dynamic. It's just I always found this kind of villain dynamic fucking weird, but I do kind of understand it to a point. We'll get to that in a moment.
Yep.
Just this guy is like doing horrible things, incredibly racist murdering of people that are not that even if they're white, they might be religious in one way, like the Jewish man at the beginning, or just all this stuff. And he's saying that he's sorry, like he's calm about this, mind you guys. It's like, I'm sorry, it's nothing personal. It just has to be done. I'm just like, I am very 50-50 on the mentally unbalanced kind of guy who takes it calmly like this.
Yeah, but also like this is also very confusing in regards to is the guy racist or is Malbolgia giving this guy weird, crazy, racist like visions, or is this guy like just mentally unstable and this is just how it's manifesting? It's not very clear because it's a not very understandable character.
Yeah, I got the impression that like he was basically just like following Malbolgia's orders. Like I don't think he was like just killing random people. He was killing very specific targeted people per Malbolgia's orders. I think.
Yeah, it was not very clear because this is a very confusingly motivated
So like
character.
was the dude racist? Probably not. Malbolgia? Very likely yes.
Malbolgia, he don't give a fuck.
Right?
I was gonna say it's very confusing, but also I guess that's what you get when you get a white guy like Todd McFarlane writing for a black character like Al Simmons. Who knows?
Well,
he makes a very confusingly motivated racist character. Cagliostro says that humans also do Malbolgia's work and are drawn by the Hellspawn. We finally see Merrick and Wynn are talking about what to do about Wanda. And she's saying, hey, why don't they just fucking torture her and kill her?
And Wynn's like, dude, no, we need her alive. Asshole.
Yeah. Spawn listens and Wynn is he find like I don't know, are they like in a building or are they like is he like in his office at this point? I can't remember which way they are, but they're talking about what to do about Wanda and Spawn is listening, and then Wynn decides, okay, let's just have Wanda followed for now.
We'll just track her down, like all evil people do.
Yeah. At work, we see Wanda is kind of overworking herself and trying not to think about what the fuck Terry is up to, because he is still missing.
And we get her assistant Lois, just like, it's like 9 o'clock. Why don't you just leave? Look, if I don't do this, I'm gonna go crazy. She's like, okay, just don't overwork yourself, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, bye. And I have to point this out too, because I had to do this for Chris. Wanda's assistant is named Lois, and she has a nasally voice.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you can't unsee it.
That'd be funny.
Her last name is Griffin now. You cannot stop now.
Why'd you gotta put that out there first, bro?
Very dumb.
You're welcome.
Wynn once again calls Wanda and is talking to her. As Merrick says, like, hey, man, Wynn, you look really exhausted. Are you okay? And we find out he's also been having all Bolger visions.
Yeah, but when he talks to Wanda, he's like, hey, can we meet for dinner?
Yep.
And she's like, yeah, I can be outside in 10 minutes. Okay, I'll have a car for you.
Yep, and this is when we see Terry at a bar again, and he sees a report about the dead guy from earlier.
Yep, and there's a lot of missing people. They're not dead, because right now all they know is that they're missing people. If you've seen these people, contact blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
You see him starting to, like, walk out of the bar, where you see, like, some kind of abused woman.
Yeah,
like,
she's on her phone, kind of just, like, talking to somebody. We don't know.
Yeah, like, just random symbolism, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, because that's, like, I was like, is that important, or is it going to come back? I don't know.
And as he's getting ready to walk outside, we see an elderly black couple out on the street, and they hail a taxi.
Yeah, they get in the cab, and we see, like, hey, where you guys going? And it starts driving around, and we see that the driver is the murderer.
Yeah, because they're like, we want to go to Queens.
Yep.
And he starts driving to Brooklyn.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, that was our stop back there. Hey, we'll just get out. And then he kind of like keeps driving. And they kind of get more freaked out as it keeps going on. And then finally, they just say, hey, man, we'll just give you your money. Please don't kill us. And then, of course, he still ends up killing both of them.
Right.
And he stuffs them both into the trunk and continues to drive.
On their anniversary, too.
Yeah, very, very
he takes the ring from her finger.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's very depressing.
Yeah, side note, I did not look this up or see it in the credits, but I am almost positive that the man of that couple might have been voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson.
I think so. Yeah,
you might be right.
He's the most distinct voice on the planet. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very sad scene. It was very fucked up. We see Wynn keeps talking to Wanda to try to get her to turn Terry in, just saying, hey, man,
And, he's like, if you hear anything, call me, let me know. And then she gets a phone call.
Yeah, we also hear Cyan at one point crying and stuff like that, right?
No, not yet. Because when they're having dinner, she's like, I'll let you know if I hear anything. And then she gets a call, and she finds out it's from Terry.
Yep.
And she's like, hey, I'm sorry, I need to use a payphone. Which obviously Wynn and Merrick are both like,
okay.
X to doubt.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, sure, whatever. We see her talking to Terry, and he says, we see the murderer is now following Terry at this point.
Yep.
And we see Terry calls Wanda, and he says, like, I think something's up, or Wynn, Terry calls Wanda, and they're talking. Wynn says that something is up. Merrick is at another table, like, sitting behind them, listening in. And this is when Wanda tells him, hey, let's meet up at the place, the old bar we went to. And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm sorry, Cyan's been sick.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, I hope she's all right.
Yeah.
Merrick, if you could take her to the car, please.
Like,
and then Merrick comes back, and she's just like, dude, she's lying. And Wynn's just like, no fucking shit.
Yep.
Now, hold on a second. Did you trace that call? Yeah, I did. It was to Brooklyn. He's like, son of a bitch, she's been in our backyard this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And then gets a call, he's like, yeah, what? Hey, we're tailing her. She's going to some place in Brooklyn. All right, stay on top of it. Don't worry.
Yep, Terry waits at the old bar to try to meet her, but the weird racist murderer knocks him out and takes him to the warehouse.
Yep, and then, of course, later on, we get, like, Wynn talking to his goons, and the goons are like, she's been circling around the same block for, like, half an hour.
Also, before that, we see the murderer does go through Terry's belongings and sees that he is CIA. Terry sees all the other bodies hanging around him. He's just like, oh, shit, I'm in trouble now. And, yeah, the Wynn sees, the credit card was used in Brooklyn, and they continue to follow Wanda. The trackers say Wanda is going around in circles, and we have no idea what the fuck she's doing. And then finally, so they just crash her car and try to, arrest her like they did with Terry in the last episode.
And then, as she's trying to start her car back up, Spawn kills 2 people.
Yep.
And then looks at her and starts walking to her, and she starts freaking out.
Of course, like, oh shit, it's a giant fucking cloaked man, monster man.
It does not occur to him for a second that, like, she would not have recognized him.
Yeah, in his crazy monster outfit look, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she finally does get out of there, and he's just like,
off, yep.
"No, Wanda!"
Yeah.
Like, no, she sees me as a monster. How did I not see this coming?
Yeah, you're the terrifying giant
she's
superhero outfit guy. The racist murderer comes back to Terry, and he sees that Terry has escaped in the meantime, and they finally get into a big giant tussle and fight. Terry does, of course, manage to beat him up because he has a little bit of skill, but the guy does have a gun and starts firing at him.
And don't worry, Terry does not get shot this time.
Nope, he does not, because
but he does actually get out.
Yep, as he's firing, Spawn's like, oh, what's that noise? And then finally goes to see where Terry is, as Terry escapes. Spawn finds the pictures of Wanda with Terry's belongings. He's like, oh shit, this guy's a fucking crazy murderer. Merrick and Wind find the abandoned cars. I'm like, what the fuck? Who killed these guys this time?
Right. And then of course, Spawn finally murders a man.
Oh no, yeah, Spawn finally confronts the weird racist guy, and he says, hey, we both serve Malbolgia. We're on the same side. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. He's like, you're the one from my dreams.
Yeah.
I know you. You work for my master. And it's like, dude, I don't work for anyone. Yes, you do. Then he dies.
Yep, he dies. Yeah, he kills him, and then as he exits there, we see Wynn and Merrick finding the bodies in the murderer's base.
And they actually do get the cops called.
Yep, finally.
Yeah. And I think that's where it ends.
Yep, that is where the episode Send in the Cookie Clowns ends.
Send in the Cookie Clowns!
Another pseudo-fillery episode, but it does advance Terry and Nem's plot a little bit.
Yes, it is more story-oriented than the last episode, but it did still feel fillery.
Yeah.
Because they had random-ass guys. And at least they introduced the concept that it's not just Hellspawn that work for Malbolgia.
Oh, yeah. Very
normal-ass people can, too.
Yeah. Yep. Also, I gotta go to the bathroom, so you guys vamp for a little bit.
Yep. So, Chris, how did you like this episode?
It was definitely something out of left field. I was not expecting the KKK to be involved of all things.
Right? It's like, because it's like, I was watching this, I'm just like, fuck. Like, I knew it was called Send in the KK Clowns. I'm just like, okay, let's see what it's gonna... Then it just starts off with some guy, like, spouting some Klansman bullshit, it sounded like. I'm just like, oh shit, we're just going straight into it.
Yeah, apparently the KKK was just, like, in his dreams, like Malbolgia was sending him the message, like, you must be part of the KKK and go kill these targeted people.
Yeah, and it was even funnier because Wynn earlier in the episode, like later on in the episode, was just like, yeah, I have these strange dreams, and you see the fucking KKK dream.
Oh, was that? Right, that was. It was. I knew that was introduced, like, at least in, like, episode 5. Was that introducced in 4 a little bit? Or like...
They touched on it briefly. That he was having crazy...
in
this episode. It was very briefly, but they do touch up on it later on.
Okay,
but that's what Matt was talking about when he said that Wynn was having crazy Malbolgia visions. It was that same dream, pretty much. It's just like... Wow, even Wynn, a literal traitor to his country and terrorist himself, is having KK dreams.
Yeah, also, the whole weird motivation of what that's about. And, like, I don't know, that looked like weird, like, medieval times, something like that. Like, there was, like, a castle in the background with the beginning thing with those evil, like, the people. I don't know what the hell the nature of any of that was, or, like, what it was trying to imply.
Well, here's the thing, because if I remember correctly, I'll have to look this up to fact check, obviously, because we never fact check this stuff. But if I remember correctly, like... some kind of Spanish group back in history where during the Crusades and stuff, it wasn't all white, but they wore similar outfits, hoods and all, as well. And of course, we Americans, because we steal everything, took that concept and just rolled with it. Only we decided to be all about they decided to be all about fucking down with the impure. We are the purest and. Big fucking racist bullshit.
Was it an Inquisition thing during the Crusades?
Like I said, I need the fact check.
But it was like never. Yeah, it doesn't really.
It might have been.
Yeah, and like I said, of course, this is Todd McFarlane writing about weird racist people and the most confusing motivations in the world for this murderer guy, who I don't think even gets a name at any point in this thing.
Nope, I just call him the racist.
Yes, like it was very. I just wrote racist murderer guy.
Right, he's like just some rando.
Yeah, I have no idea what the actual nature of any of his motivations were because it was so unclear. It was very, very weird.
It's just, ugh.
But yeah, very weird episode. That guy, another random villain that got killed by Spawn who didn't really matter. But,
I mean, hey.
But at least Terry's on the run.
You know how
Wanda's seen
unimportant
Spawn
he was?
now.
He was so unimportant that, yes, he only lasted one episode, but he didn't even get a name.
Yeah, didn't even get a name, just random racist guy. I'm about to say, have you read any of the comics, so...
I have not yet. I've been trying so hard to get like a few of like the original series like omnibuses.
Yeah.
So I could like get like the main story pretty much in comics. I'm only familiar with it slightly because of like little research I did, because I mentioned in the previous episode of Spawn specifically that one of my favorite albums from any metal artist is Iced Earth's The Dark Saga, which is literally about Spawn.
Yeah.
Very romanticized, mind you, I'm gonna say that right now, but it's it's definitely like it takes from the comics rather than the show or anything like that, even to the point where Todd McFarlane did the cover art for it. But like I've only done very little research, but this is one I've definitely wanted to at least read the Al Simmons arc.
Yeah.
Because it's a comic book series that's been going on for fucking decades.
Oh, yeah.
So there's the other ones, like, don't even get me started on the Gunslinger Spawn,
the
Medieval Spawn, fucking a character named Onslaught, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Also, I told you I love Redeemer.
Sorry, that's the one I meant.
Redeemer. The first Redeemer, and then the second,
and then, of course, Malboja himself. Yeah. But then you find out, Malboja's not the devil. What? You mean Todd McFarlane's been lying? He didn't make a deal with the devil? He made a deal with Malboja? Because, Lucifer himself is in it.
Oh, yeah.
All of the fucking angel things we were talking about. It gets a little complex. But then again, it's a comic book series. Of course it gets complex.
Yeah, it has to. But yeah, this episode was very, very weird. I'm glad we're advancing Terry's plot, though, at least.
Yeah. We're getting something good out of it. But speaking of getting something good out of it, let's move on to the 5th episode of this series. We are nearing the finish line, folks, because after this there's only one more episode. Death Blow.
We see the decorations are actually a Spawn mask for once. There's like just a regular ass, probably a movie prop Spawn mask. We see a gladiator helmet. And we also do see that the gladiator helmet does look vaguely like the Violators designs, which is right. I was like,
it kind of does actually. And I'm like, you know what, Todd? Nice.
Yep. Todd talks about prayers for the dead, and he lights some candles, and then it's kind of just like whatever, vaguing about death and fighting and all that kind of stuff. This is when we open up with Sam and Twitch investigating the racist guy. We see that the victims, there were two people, NSC, which I think is the first time we mentioned Wynn's company name. They're NSC victims, like, those two were actually Spawn's kills, but like, the two of these victims don't match. And they were agents who Spawn killed and threw up on those hooks just to get rid of them.
Yeah, right.
Like all the people that were inside the racist murderers, like torture basement or whatever.
Yeah, it was just two guys.
It was like 12 or 13 guys that were all like murdered. Like all but like 3 of them were hanged. The others were gunshot.
Yeah, it's like we got 12 bodies here. One of them's the murderer. 2 of them are some NSC. NSC?
Yep, NSC.
Yeah, NSC guys. The rest of them are, a bunch of other guys that we got. And you know what? I gotta say, because in this series, compared to the other one that we knew that this guy voiced, Bullock from Batman the Animated Series, let's be real, this guy, Burke, he's the fat cop stereotype. He's a fucking 10 times better than Bullock.
He's amazing. Wanda drives by and sees all the crazy murderers.
And then one of the cops is just like, "Hey, get that out of here."
Yep. And Wynn calls the chief and tells him, "Hey, we got to cover things up. We can't let them know that anything about this is involved."
Yeah, we're keeping everyone unidentified. I have my men cleaning this up, and we're gonna keep this quiet, all right? And the cops just like, "Yeah, duh."
Of course. And Merrick says that Terry was definitely here at some point, but they need to question where he went to. And he has backup. We don't know what the fuck it is, but he has some kind of backup.
I'm going to step out for a bit. Keep on.
All right,
keep
you're
talking.
good. Wanda drives distractedly, and we see a random wheelchair basketball team kind of just driving down the street, and then she
that caught me off guard.
It was very funny.
Just a bunch of paraplegic people playing basketball.
Yeah, that's a weird New York thing of the wheelchair basketball scene. She almost hits one of them. The guy kind of hits her car "Hey, what's going on with you, man? You almost
especially what appeared to be like a real slumlord area.
Yeah,
it seemed like, and just wow, I mean, it may not be an officially recognized basketball league, but it's probably just like a local community or something.
Yeah, but it was
like
still very nice.
These handful of people that are in wheelchairs, they probably just like happen to find each other and all like basketball. So it's just like random coincidence. Hey, these people are playing basketball.
Yeah, it's like I remember just hanging out. It's fun. But of course, when they're almost killed by Wanda while she's distracted driving.
Yeah, but like and in her defense though, why did the one dude go out on the street?
I think they were crossing the street. They were like crossing a crosswalk, and she was just like not paying attention. And almost ran the crosswalk and killed them.
That would make more sense.
He kind of like hits the car, like yelling at her as a cop finally pulls her over and gets out and says, "Hey, it's that woman you're looking for." The cop kind of talks to her for a little bit, and saying like, and he gets a call from either his chief, who's corrupt, or from Wynn, saying like, "Hey, let her go. She might lead us to Terry, so we need to keep tracking her ass." Mm-hmm. Spawn is upset that she was scared at what he looked like, and Cagliostro's like, well, no fucking shit, she's scared of what you look like.
She sees me for the monster that I am. Well, no fucking shit, have you looked at yourself in the mirror, buddy?
Yeah, you're a huge fucking giant cowled super villain looking thing. And he says, no, you need to get your humanity back, and then you'll be able to be with her.
Yep.
Spawn says that he has nothing. I got nothing, and I can't even die, as he stabs himself with a big piece of wood.
Thanks.
Yep, he has a big giant piece of wood he stabs himself with, and he's just kind of like, nothing, I have no reason to live.
And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, remember that time where that doesn't actually mean anything? You're going to make it mean something if you keep doing that, man.
Cagliostro says, hey, man, I literally went through the same thing, man. Just don't give up, and you can get over this like I did. And I was just like, I want to find...
How do you know? How do you know what I'm going through? Like, because you're not the only one who is Mobolo's master.
Yeah,
you're not the only one who's been a Hellspawn.
Yeah, it's like the third time he's telling him that, too.
This time he's just like, look, I literally just said it. Do I need to spell it out to you? I went through what you are.
Yeah, I went through it and I got out. You can get out of it, too. Quit being an idiot. Al wants to go and find himself. This is when Wynn plans to kill Wanda and frame Terry for it. That's his new plan. Merrick says, oh, okay. I want to do it, but everyone who tries seems to keep ending up dead. So
wow, imagine that.
So why don't you send someone else? He's just like, yeah, that makes sense. We meet a reporter, finally, who's investigating the senator from last season and Billy Kincaid. We meet...
Lisa Wu?
Yeah, Lisa Wu. That's what it was. Lisa Wu.
And she is connecting everything about Wanda. And also, of course, in case you didn't know, she is voiced by Ming-Na Wen, the voice of Mulan and the bounty hunter from Mandalorian. Also, the agent from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's just in everything, and she's great. She's just amazing actress.
Yeah, I thought she sounded familiar.
I thought so, too.
Yeah. Ming-Na Wen voices her in her crazy, whispery, sultry-ass voice she already has. Still an amazing woman who kicks ass even to this day and everything she's in. Let's see. She's investigating. She says, okay, from the Senator Billy to the fucking... from the Senator Billy. The Senator and his son Billy to the Alley murders is all connected to Wanda for some reason. We see Sam and Twitch are finally having the police squads go into the fucking alleys that have all this has just been connected to this entire season.
Well, it wasn't even Sam and Twitch that sent him. Even he mentions like, wow, took the feds long enough to do this.
Yeah, finally someone's doing something about this shit. Terry keeps wandering around back alleys, kind of completely dazed about all the insane shit that's been happening to him these last couple of days.
Right.
Between trying to escape his own people, being almost assassinated, finding a random racist murderer trying to kill him. He's just like, God, what the fuck is going on? Also, I'm pretty sure he's seen Spawn do crazy magic shit at least once. So
well, yeah, I mean, he did get mind crushed a little bit.
Yeah. He says and then finally some random cops see him and like, hey man, he fits the description. We need to take him in. They're very shitty to him, invoking like reminiscence of police brutality cases.
Oh,
and stuff
yeah,
like that.
very shitty.
And then finally they're like, no way, he fits the description of the guy we're looking for, so they arrest him. We see Lisa Wu is investigating the alley as everyone else is, and her boss wants her to stop doing that and investigate this new crazy racist murderer crime instead.
And she's like, you know what? Fuck that guy on the phone. I'm going to go to the alleys right now. And she does. She goes straight to the alleys, and she's just like talking to the police like, hey, what's going on here? And they're like, dude, lady, fuck off.
Yeah, get out of here, lady. And then she sees Bobby and Garib again.
Yeah, Bob and Garib. And she's just like, hey, I know what's going on here. I think I have an idea what's going on here. And Bob's like, dude, you crazy. Get out of here. Holds up a wad of cash. You want to tell me you want me to help you out? And he's like...
Oh, she offers some booze, too.
Offers booze, offers money, and Bob's just like, this way.
Yeah.
And Garib's just like, dude, keep your mouth shut, man.
Yeah, of course. We see Wanda at her house. She is putting Cyan to bed and gets a call from Wynn. Once again saying, hey, wow, I'm going to put somebody outside of your house. This is getting crazy, huh? You seen Terry lately? Or just like...
Yeah, and she's like, no, I haven't, and thank you for the help.
Yeah, she's like, okay, I appreciate you putting somebody outside my house. Bobby and Gareb tell Lisa Wu everything. They show her Spawn's weapon cache. I'm like, why the hell would you show this random reporter that? that's Spawn's
right.
fucking
Hey, well, no, you know why? Because she gave them the two things they wanted.
Yep.
Booze and money.
Yep, of course. Like, there's this, and we see Wanda watching TV at home all night, and we see the guard outside watching her creepily. Spawn sneaks in and tucks Cyan into bed, and also he does see Wanda, and he kind of like looms over her for a little bit and then disappears.
As he's looming, creepy guy's just like, the fuck's going on here? I'm going to go in and investigate, quote unquote.
Yeah. The guard sneaks in with his gun. He's really creepy to Wanda. He kind of like lifts up her dress while she's asleep with his gun. He's getting ready to kill her, and then of course Spawn jumps out of the shadows, chains him up crazily, wakes Wanda up like, what the fuck is going on?
And Wanda watches all of this happening.
Yeah,
and
a crazy giant chain monster like, breaking this guy's arms and legs and neck.
And then of course after that he's just like, Wanda, it's me. You know,
I'm your husband.
And she's like,
oh my god.
And then you hear the tiny voice being like, why are you making my mom cry? And then she immediately goes from, like, oh god, I'm gonna die, to, don't hurt my baby!
Yeah,
don't hurt my baby! And then Spawn just leaves.
He just finally disappears. And then she's just like, oh my god, crying. She's like, Mom, why are you crying? That was him. That was the man.
That was the sad man.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what it's like to be the sad man behind green eyes.
Yeah.
Spawn disappears and the episode ends.
Yep. And it got pretty crazy.
I like this episode because it was exclusively main plot focused, but also just like finally Merrick highlighting like, man, every single person we send to this fucking to deal with Wanda gets fucking murdered. Like, what the fuck is going on with this shit?
And even Wynn is like, dude, you know what? I have to only kind of agree with you because this is getting strange and very costly.
Oh yeah.
You know I don't like dirty work.
Yeah, it's insane, but like
I keep it clean, and this one little thing is making it not clean.
Yeah, it's just an insanely weird situation.
Be the bleach that you drink. But anyway, it's just like, yeah. So, question of the day, question of the episode, because this is the second time Al has gone over to Wanda and literally nearly gave her a heart attack. So, place your bets, kids. How many more times is he going to do this until he gets it through his fucking skull that he can't?
Yeah, but also I think, like, besides Cyan telling him what's going on and her explicitly saying, I'm Al, I'm your husband. Like, I'm very curious. I can't remember because I've seen season 3, but I don't remember what the fuck happens in regards to this. But, like, how much longer does she not, like, get or put two together what the fuck he is and what's going on? Like, it's very interesting because she has all the evidence now that this is definitely probably Al. And also, I love the aspect of, like, this crazy supernatural fucking being just, like, killing everyone who gets close to Wanda, and, like, Wynn and them are just like, what the fuck is happening? It's just,
Wynn's just, like, sitting here
dynamic,
like, look, I'm already having strange dreams, guys, but every single guy...
And he's even starting to see the clown now.
Yeah.
That's coming up, though. Yeah, it's just like, every single fucking time we send someone into those alleys or something, they all get massacred. And Merrick's just sitting here like, oh yeah? You know, the thing I've been telling you?
Mm-hmm. There was another, I can't remember what the other series or movie or show I was watching, but it was another thing where, like, a supernatural presence is, like, actively killing people, but, like, the regular people who are dealing with it are just, like, completely out of the blue. Like, what the fuck is happening? It's so weird. All this weird, unnatural shit's happening. We have no idea how to connect it all. It's so fucking fun.
You've also described the opening to Death Note.
Yeah, that too. Death Note. Fantastic.
I mean, that's true too. Yeah, but no, you reminded me of The Happening.
Happening's fucking great.
No, it's not.
The Happening's fun.
No, it's not. It's good for a meme. But it's just like, unexplained phenomenon are happening, and we can't trace what the hell's going on because you're going to kill me in my sleep. What? No. Just fucking, what was his name? Mark Wahlberg?
Mark.
What?
Mark from Mark Wahlberg.
Thank you, Wahlberg. I just wanted the last name. Yeah. I didn't want to accidentally say Wahlburton because that's Patrick. But it's just like, that man, and I'm not going to blame him. Because I've learned from Leonardo DiCaprio that you can't blame someone's acting, in certain movies. Because I hate Leonardo DiCaprio in the Titanic. I said that officially. Fight me. But he was really good in other movies. I'm like, it's not his fault that it was directed horribly. The direction went bad. So that's what I'm saying with because it was an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Of course.
One of the bad ones, which could be any of his movies.
I would say one of them. Well, no, he has a couple good ones.
I know, he has Sixth Sense is always a good one. That's the one everyone goes to.
The Visit was fun.
What?
The Visit.
Yeah, I mean, it was 50-50. It was better than his other stuff, but it still wasn't great. I mean, just... Hey, Matt, you'll understand what I'm saying when I say this. That was quite a shitty ending.
Yeah.
Only those who've seen The Visit will know what I'm talking about. What's the one? The one about the superheroes. The first one about the superheroes. With Bruce Willis.
Unbreakable?
Yeah, Unbreakable.
Yeah. Why are we on a fucking... We already went on this whole fucking tangent about M. Night Shyamalan when we did the fucking Last Airbender episode.
I don't care. Some people might just be listening to this for the first time and hasn't watched that episode.
By far my most popular episode on fucking YouTube.
Oh,
so.
right, but yeah, just Unbreakable was good, but let's be honest, that sequel was shit. M. Night Shyamalan movies have been getting really dry. And apparently his newest one, Old, I think it was called.
We literally went over all this on the M. Night Shyamalan episode. I loved Old. It was very fun, but very depressing. But yeah, fucking M. Night Shyamalan aside, I continue to love Merrick and Wynn in this episode. The introduction of Lisa Wu. Yeah, it'll be very interesting when we get to more about her fucking backstory, which is insane. But like, in the meantime, Ming-Na Wen is an amazing addition to the series, and also having a new protagonist character besides Wanda who's actually helping is always fucking a good dynamic change.
Yeah, what are you talking about? This is Spawn. All the protagonists need to wait till the very last second to help out.
Yeah, I love how this entire so far this last 2 seasons, every single thing has been, aside from Overkill, has been like regular, realistic humans that he's been going up against, and he's been completely like fucking wiping.
That's right. Like you had Overkill, and you had fucking when he fought the Violator.
Oh, you mean when like the Violator fucking whooped his ass real quick?
I mean, yeah, but those are like the two only like supernatural / not actual human things that he's fought in this series so far. Yeah, because I mean, Billy Kincaid, which, by the way, how's he doing out there? You threw him out.
I can't believe he's not dead. Well, we'll deal with him.
No, he is dead. I'm just surprised that he's still here.
He's still somehow alive and back. Oh, he's a hellspawn. Hopefully he's not a hellspawn. That would suck.
Aren't the cops here yet? No one's called him. It's fine. We can wait.
Hey, Chris.
Yep.
How would you feel if you had to make the call saying, hey, police, help, police. There's a ghost outside my house.
Or a hellspawn. He is back from the dead. Maybe he's a first level reanimated hellspawn.
I'm sure they'll just be immediately met with, sir, this line is for emergencies only. Please call back when you have an emergency. Goodbye.
Fucking right. But anyway,
who's wrestling back there?
That's outside. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Well, hey, at least we're nearing the finish because we are now at the final episode of season 2.
Really? You didn't say episode 6?
I did say. I said the final episode. You don't need to say episode 6 if you say the final episode. Do you believe this man? Do you believe this guy?
Whatever.
Always screwing it up, and it's his own show.
No, I'm with Matt on this one. Gotta say episode 6.
No, I did. I said episode 6.
Well, things are getting pretty heated.
Episode.
One could say, "Hell's a poppin',"
and I thank you for eating off of that.
My segue. Todd is staring with the guillotine for some reason. He's talking about the existence of evil and how our hellspawn is different.
Oh my god. Todd, stop, please. Yep. I wonder how he's going to be in season 3.
Who knows?
If he is.
Wynn keeps having dreams about hell and Malbolgia, and he's freaking out at his desk at work. He also knows he has some kind of connection to this spawn, but he's not sure what.
Yep.
We see he calls Merrick, but she doesn't come, and we see out of the shadows, Spawn appears to him. And
finally!
Says, I've come to take you to hell. He's like, ah.
And he holds him over this big old fiery pit.
Also, at one point when he comes out of the shadows, he does try to shoot at him with a gun and does not do anything. Of course.
Right, and then of course he's just like, I'm here to take you to hell. My master's waiting for you.
Yep, we see visions of hell, and he awakes back in his office. As we see the holes they shot in the curtain are slowly healing, and also his gun has all the ammo still in it.
Yep, and even Merrick is just like, "Yo, I can hear you. I can hear in your voice. You're not doing okay. You good?" Yeah. And then of course he checks and he sees all the bullets. He's like, "It's nothing."
Yep, we see that Merrick is like, okay, you seem really fucked up, dude. You're not doing well. Cagliostro keeps trying to tell Spawn to start helping people instead of doing what he's doing, and he can get Wanda back. But whatever you do not kill Jason Wynn.
He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Jason Wynn's behind all of this. I will murder this man. No, you don't fucking get it.
I know how to break the curse, and I can show you, but you have to not kill this guy.
Who are you, old man? What are you talking about, old man?
And the old man's just like, okay, look. I know you have a very, very low wisdom, so let me spell it out for
memory.
you. I'm gonna spell it out for you, okay? Malboja wants Win dead. He wants, because if you do this, Win's gonna come back just as powerful, if not more powerful, than you.
Oh yeah, we don't get that yet, but he just says, don't kill him. Whatever you do, don't kill him.
Oh, I thought that was...
That's a little bit. Yeah, that's the main point, though. But yeah, Win watches the news article that Lisa Wu was investigating as she talks about all the missing guns and everything that's going on, and she explicitly says this is the NSC's fault. They are behind it. And
Win's just like, what the fuck is going on
here?
And
as he's watching it, the clown starts like speaking over the newscast and pops up saying, hey, Win, I think it's time we met. And he's like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, we gotta have a little talk here, Mr. Win. Winnie boy.
Terry wants to make a phone call. He's still under arrest, but they say like, hey, he says, I'm not going to say anything without my lawyer.
And then of course, like, one of the cops is like, hey, you, get out here. By the way, it's a good thing I had to pull you out because you know Burke and Twitch, right? Yeah, they do things by the book, and they kind of wanted me to stop this because we were kind of not going by the book.
Yep, Sam and like, Twitch are mad because the chief won't let them. The chief who's corrupted and working for Win won't let them talk to Terry.
Yeah, and even the other cop was just like, Burke and Twitch, those guys, those assholes.
Yeah,
and of course, Burke is like complaining to Twitch, like, yeah. What the hell's going on with the chief? You won't let us, question this guy. He knows something that is going on, especially with those alleys. And then we get Lisa Wu like, hey, gentlemen, I heard you say alleys.
Yep,
hey,
I work for the Washington Post.
I don't care. We don't talk to the press. But how about this? How about I give you information, let's say, about certain guns,
yeah,
perhaps?
So like, I've heard that you two are very much on the level and not corrupt at all, so I want to work with you guys. I have stuff that you guys want, you have stuff that I want. And he's like, oh, Sam and Trish are like, okay, fine, step into our office.
Yeah, it's, he even comments, he's like, you know what? I like your attitude, kid. Get on in here.
Yeah. The clown continues to, fucking annoy Spawn, saying, hey, you gotta kill Win. That's what your name is.
Come on, kill Win.
Also,
kill my boy.
Yeah, I also wrote a random note that the closed captions incorrectly say that the clown is Malbolgia, just because...
Yes, I noticed that too. It says, Malbolgia. I'm like, dude, that's the clown.
Yeah,
who is also known as the Violator.
That's not even his Violator form, but yeah. Wu then goes to the NSC, in person, and we actually see their office there.
It's like, sorry, lady, we can't, Jason, I told you over the phone, Jason's not seeing anyone right now. She's like, oh, don't worry. I was just gonna, reveal all of this information about the guns on the news, and I just wanted to see if Win would join me.
Yeah, if you wanted to have a talk about it, but if not, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here, I'm just like, fucking hell, girl.
Yeah,
work that.
Bold as hell.
Do it.
Merrick and Win, once again, are having a nice, cool dinner. They're talking about all the crazy shit that's been happening around them. Like, man, this shit is insane.
Yeah, and of course, Merrick's just like, yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah.
And Win is just like, yeah, no fucking shit.
We got a killer, we got a mystery killer on the loose who's just, killing everything we throw at them, and now we have, this snooping reporter who's, trying to expose our shit. What the hell's happening? What do I pay people for?
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Ring, ring! Hey, sir, you have a phone? What is it? Look, I told you... What the hell?
I literally pay you to make it so that I don't have to deal with the press.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck is...
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck off.
Yeah, even America's saying, okay, so why don't we just kill Wu? That'll make it easier. And he's like, yeah, I guess. He talks to Wanda and, or Wu, he's like, yeah, okay, the plan is we'll kill fucking Wu when we get the chance. And Wu is now talking to Wanda about Terry being held by the police and nobody knowing that he's there.
And also we get the most conspicuous fucking work van out there, and then we hear
it's very much Win's now okay, maybe this time fucking definition of insanity,
right?
Far Cry 3.
No. He literally
this time we'll send another van. This is our 6th van, but we'll send another guy to watch Wanda, and hopefully we'll end up dead like the 17 other guys who we sent before.
Okay, listen, guys. I am a rich individual. I don't care how costly the van is. I could send 100 vans, but this is the 6th one, and my lucky number is 6. My fortune cookie told me. So,
what's another one? The Ninja Gaiden thing with the people, like the room full of guys, bad guys who he sent out. There are generals like, okay, man, I believe in you. You're gonna get this. The guy sends out, gets killed. Next guy, I didn't believe in that guy at all. You, I believe in. You're gonna get this. You can take care of him. Go in there. He gets killed. Okay, that guy was an idiot. I didn't believe he was gonna do that at all. You're gonna do it. You go in.
And on it goes. Yeah, the definition of insanity.
Yeah, and also another example I always love. Metal Gear Solid V, or 5 if you're a layman who didn't play the game. The beginning of the game, Solid Snake has been in a coma for, I think, 5 or 6 or maybe 7 years.
Don't you
5
mean
years?
V years?
Yeah,
yeah, V years. Come on, get it right. Wait, hey, unless you're in Germany, then it's W years.
Yeah. But no, like he's been in a coma. The main bad guys are outside of you don't really see them outside of the hospital, but like they're sending in Quiet, their main assassin. She has tons of bulletproof armor, tons of fucking guns, grenades, bombs, knives, all kinds of shit. Like, okay, yeah, big boss, whatever. That's all like made up shit. You're gonna go in there. The guy's been in a coma. He's still in a coma. Just go in there, kill him, and then get out of the building. It's an easy mission. She goes in. About 5 minutes later, she comes flying out of the window, set on fire. And it's just like, yeah, you don't fucking fuck with these people. They'll never learn their lesson. It's just an impossible match.
Yeah, but yeah, in this case, it's just like Wynn's like, okay, guys, I have a plan on how we can do this. I need a van, and everyone in his council chamber, whatever, just rolls their eyes like, here we go again. No, guys.
Oh, Wynn and his van.
No,
right?
So this time we're going to have 2 guys, one with a sniper, and the other's going to go in the sewers. It's a foolproof plan.
And guys, because remember how I said we're going to attack the reporter? We're also going to kill the kid and the wife.
Yeah.
See? It's not the same plan.
Totally different plan this time, guys. And so apparently at least 2 of his people were like, yeah, I do think this will work this time.
2 of the guys just look at each other.
I'm good with going in a sewer and being a sniper.
Yeah, the 2 guys just look at each other and just like, hey, Mr. Wynn, we're in.
Yep.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yep. Anyway, Wu finishes talking to Wanda, walks out of the door. The guy's like, hey, I'm the sniper guy in the van. I've got eyes on her. What's that chain doing around my neck? He's dead. And then the guy in the sewer, he's also dead now. I'm not going to bother going into it.
Report.
Report?
Hey, report. Hello? Caps mic. Is this thing on? What the fuck? When it happened again, remember that how your how your last plan went? Yeah, it was totally awesome, except for the time when they died randomly. Yeah, well, guess what happened to these 2 guys?
Wait, don't tell me what happened. Let me listen. He pulls up his mic, and apparently someone picks up the microphone and says, is this Wynn? I'm coming for you. Crush. Like, huh. Maybe I should have sent those 2 guys.
Hey, Merrick. Hey, no, even better. Merrick just leans in and says, like, opens her mouth, and Wynn says, don't even say a goddamn word.
Cut to the NSC strapping up and having all their men come to the building.
Every single goddamn, like, SWAT kind of motherfuckers.
This is probably my favorite episode of the entire series, just because of this ridiculous setup. It's just like the raid
no
level.
one gets in, nobody gets out. Wynn is safe in his room. We got this.
Yeah,
and all the cops are just like, okay, listen, our intel was to come here. We have our post. No one's telling us what the fuck we're looking for.
That's right. They legit are like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Someone's like,
what are we shooting at?
Yep. Like, all right, Team 1 checking in. Yep, Team 1, we're outside the building. Don't see anything. All right, Team 2 checking in. Yep, we're on the bottom floor. Don't see anything. Team 3? Team 3? Okay, I got it.
Some random guy just... guys, I think Team 3 can't respond. they kind of came down with a sickness. What sickness? Death.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, well, let me check the cameras. Cameras going out one by one. Okay, let me check out the other guy. It's
like, there's a point where even Merrick is just like, hey, what's going on?
Like pressing random intercom buttons. I need communication with Team 3.
I like it because Merrick is just like on the radio.
Team 2. I can't find Team 3. Team 2 now? Team 2? Okay.
Team 2 walks over. Barry, what the hell's going on? Barry? Fucking goddamn it! Presses intercom. I need someone to talk to me now. Hey, by the way, we're Team 1 from outside, and all the doors are locked. and the one competent guy, get the fuck out of my way, gets a fucking blowtorch. I got this. I'm sitting here. I'm like, thank you, someone with a brain.
It's so ridiculous.
And Wynn's just sitting here like, Something tells me I just had this weird feeling that things are not going well out there.
Yeah, we see one team of guys, all right guys, move, we're all gonna get in this elevator, and then like of course no hear from them again. And then at one point the lights go out, they all start shooting at each other, trying to shoot Spawn. It's just like the most insane one-sided video game setup of like a fucking ridiculous OP character.
But then we finally, after all of this fucking Benny Hill ass fight scene,
I love this a whole part.
We actually get Merrick versus Spawn, and you'll never guess what happens.
I just imagine Spawn just being like taking all these bullets, just like, guys, listen, how many times do we have to go over this? You cannot kill me. I couldn't die even if I tried, and believe me, I've tried.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, Chris, the way you had your arms shrugged like that after he got shot multiple times,
yeah.
Guys, we've been over this. You just hear a bunch of bullets hitting the ground.
Just like coming out of his hands.
Yeah, right.
Like fucking like Osmond Sadler style.
Yeah, he's like, guys, we've been over this. You can't kill me. But then, but what happens, Matt? What happens between Merrick and Spawn?
Merrick's like, all of her guys have been taken out. There's nobody left except for between her, Wynn and whoever's trying to kill them, except for her. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna try. She has her gun. She's like pulling it on Spawn, and then just cut to inside the building of her like knocked out body being thrown through the door, and like in front of Wynn, just being like, yeah, she's dead. She's knocked out too.
Well, actually, in this case, we don't know if she's actually
don't know what
dead.
happened. Yeah,
because all we get is the team. Actually, we get, hello, Wynn. Guess what? It's time for you to go to hell.
Yeah, he finally confronts him and tells him, I'm Al Simmons. He's like, oh my god, it's impossible.
Yeah, he's like, he pretty much pulls a Chapel like, dude, you're fucking dead.
Yeah,
you can't be alive.
Yep.
He's like, oh yeah? Well, I know this and this and this and this. And he's just like, I still don't believe you're Al Simmons in the back of the head. Oh my god, it's Al Simmons.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you will leave Wanda and her family alone.
Yeah, Terry, Wanda, the daughter, yeah, you're not gonna fuck with them because he's getting ready to kill this man.
Yeah, and he also has a flashback to Cagliostro saying, like, if you kill him, he'll be back as a strong, as a
he'll
Spawn,
be
as strong as you were.
As strong as you, if not stronger.
Yep.
He's just like, you're not gonna mess with Wanda, Terry, or Cyan ever again.
Yep.
Am I clear?
And he
yeah,
just says, yep.
Sure, whatever. And then he just disappears. And then, of course, Team 1 is just, go, go, go! Where's he at? Where's... and you just see Merrick just like, wait.
Yeah, just kind of passes out or dies. You don't know.
He's like, Wynn, are you okay? And Wynn's just like, gets on the phone. And at first he's like, get the hell out of here now. And they all leave and he's just like, gets on the phone. I need the police chief, please. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you see, like, the cops out there, like, yeah, this guy, we got this guy. We can get him easily. And then one cop goes up and says, hey, police chief's orders. Get that guy we're cutting him loose. Get him out of there. Give him his phone call. He can go. Wait, this is bullshit. The chief himself said it.
Yep, no.
I don't agree with it.
He's done. He's out.
But yeah, he's out.
And then we see inside the office, the clown himself actually pops up to Wynn and says, hey, I think it's about time we finally met in person.
Yep. He's like, hey, Winnie boy.
Yep.
Winnebago.
It's time we finally meet. And then Wanda gets a call from Terry saying, hey, I'm on my way home.
No. Even better. It was, hi, it's me. Can I come home? I'm like, it's smart man.
Oh, yeah.
Because he knew he pissed off his wife.
Of course.
Completely and scared the shit out of her.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the first question he asks? Can I come home? And of course she's just like, yes, please come home.
Yeah, please. Just also.
Yeah, she's she's just like in desperation. She's like, come home, please.
Yeah. This episode is my favorite of the whole series by far. The name Hell's a Poppin' is fun. Also,
Hell's a Poppin' is a great name.
The movie, the like whole raid or Precinct 13 or whatever, that setup of like tons and tons of guys. It's even reversed because there's one guy infiltrating this like huge thing full of people. It just was like 100% like the raid, just like him taking them all out. Even if he was using like magic powers, and you didn't see like probably like 70% of the kills you did not see of him taking out the teams, but he's just that fucking good because it's Al Simmons and he has Spawn powers, and so it's just like such a fun video game ass setup of just like him fucking beating up the ass so fucking hard. It's like Arkham Asylum pretty much, but like it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like good. Oh my god, this was a good ending, and we get an important point I think from the comics as well. The clown is like, hi Jason, we should have a heart-to-heart. Yeah. I'm like, yep, shit is about to get real, and there's only 6 episodes left of this entire series.
Yes. Also,
speaking of the clown, there was like some like an offhanded comment he made in one of these episodes where he was talking about how it's like apparently like he was like given this form like against his will, like by Malbolgia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Malbolgia. Look what he did
to
me.
Something like something about like a punishment so that like he can like he will like think about sex all the time, but like nobody will ever want to fuck him.
Yeah, some kind of weird thing like that. Yeah.
Is there any comic book continuity with that?
I barely remember the origins of Violator and all of his brothers and like the actual like what they're from and what their mothers
I forget. Aren't there like 5 brothers?
Yeah, the Fleabag brothers. I think they all have like names like the Venerator and the Vibrator and the like Ventilator.
Oh god, the Vibrator.
Yeah, no, they all have like V names for like bad stuff like Violator, but like it's the Fleabag brothers are great. But no, like I can't remember what his actual origin or why the actual has that form or anything like that. I can't remember, but I think it was unwillingly given to him by Malbolgia.
Oh my god, that might have been an Easter egg in the live action movie. Because he says he's not the Vindicator, he's not the this. I'm like, oh my god, does he say now? Now I need to go back and see that part just to see like, okay, what?
Yeah.
No, but anyway, but the Violator, or as he's known as, just simply the clown.
Yeah, but I was saying, in the comics, I know that Jason Wynn explicitly sold Al Simmons' soul to Malbolgia, meaning that he is aware of all the weird hell magic stuff, and he traded it for, I think, like
the wibbly wobbly hell magic.
Yeah, the wibbly wobbly hell magic, which explicitly he traded Al's soul to Malbolgia for some aspect of that power to build this crazy NCS company that he has, and it's like that's how he established all this power and everything like that. But it's not.
So it was just against Al. As well.
Yeah, even that was a setup against Al. Which I think is also maybe a pop point from the movie too, I think, possibly.
They might have, I don't know. But I just know that
But yeah, and this thing, he has no idea about the hell stuff.
Yeah. So it's just like, wow.
But yeah, I will say overall I think this season I enjoyed it a lot more than season 1. Even if it had less spawn, I think. It was less fights.
It had less like supernatural shit. I mean there were some, but it had less supernatural shit. And I think that was a breath of fresh air that Spawn needed, because now, guys, this is all internet talk, and so far there's no signs of this, but there was supposed to be a recent Spawn movie to come out where they took a different approach, where it was supposed to be like the main focus was police officers looking at certain deaths and murders and stuff, and only like flashes of what Spawn did. Yeah. It was supposed to be like a Spawn movie, but it was in the view of like the police officers trying to hunt them down.
Honestly.
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds like an interesting concept. And guess what? It never happened.
Of course, like we mentioned in the first episode, this like Spawn movie's been in development hell for the past 20 years. Nothing's come of it. There've been plenty of plans, but Todd McFarlane saying, of course, like, things are moving forward, but like nothing's happened like the 10 years since he said that. But yeah, if the setup was like this last raid setup, where it was just 100% a fucking super like monster badass taking out this weird company level by level with powers and nobody knows what's going on, that would be an amazing setup for a fucking movie. That would be really, really fantastic to watch. Just given how ridiculous it is.
Or like you said, Matt, that would be a really fun fucking video game.
Oh, well, there's been tons of Spawn video games.
Yes, but there hasn't been a new one.
There also hasn't been a good one, but
no, there was
except for MK11.
No. There was one actually that I've played a ROM of. There was one that actually was enjoyable. You're gonna find me crazy for saying this one. Armageddon.
Yeah, I was gonna say Armageddon's the most famous one.
That one's actually a fun one.
That's like the most famous one, I think, of just a Spawn specific.
We're not talking about MK11
or Soul Calibur.
Oh yeah, or Soul. No, you're right. Or Soul Calibur 2.
Spells in Soul Calibur?
Yeah. Okay.
Xbox
So
exclusive.
Yeah. So GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. Original Xbox. Soul Calibur 2. They it was for all three of them, but they had one exclusive character from each system. GameCube was Link.
Oh.
PS2 was Heihachi from Tekken, and in the Xbox one it was Spawn.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so I kind of like that as well, because you don't see games really do that anymore.
Of course, I would piss too many people off.
And by the way, Sony, sorry, random 180 call out. When Bloodborne on PC, assholes?
Never. No, don't do it, Sony.
Do it, Sony.
What do you mean, don't do it?
Even though I have a good PC that could run it, don't. I'm a vindictive PS Sony fanboy.
Oh, you
I love paying more money.
Motherfucker, you are my sworn enemy now.
I love exclusives.
Wait. he just now became your sworn enemy?
Yes, because he went against open PC culture and like in favor of like shady monetizable exclusives
for shitty fanboyism of the aughts.
Now, back on now,
100%. Hey, I'm using. Oh no, I'm saying well, go on our PC stuff. Of course, I love PC games. I have a good computer. I also cheated for Baldur's Gate through PC, and you love PCs.
Yeah.
Hey, back on topic now.
Of course.
I just wanted to make that one.
Spawn games, they need a new game. If they're not gonna have a movie, I wish WB would give them money to make a good game.
Or hell, just give them a new series.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be live action. It doesn't have to be live action. It could be animated, or it fucking could be live action and 10 times better with the fucking movie.
Yeah, as like various media fans of all kinds of stuff, would you two prefer a new Spawn game or a new Spawn series? I know what Chris would probably say.
Probably game.
Yeah, of course.
What about you?
Honestly,
not PC exclusive necessarily, but at least on PC.
Yeah. As a person who's like, I've read the comic stuff all the way to the end, I would probably prefer a video game just because that's kind of the person I am. If ever choice between like book, movie, TV show, or game, I would probably always choose video game personally.
And honestly, I'm the weird one in the group because I agree with him. I would a video game, but I also kind of want to see what they would do with a series or a movie that's not going to be in development hell for 20 some years.
Live action or animated?
In my opinion, doesn't matter because actually, I want completely not Spawn related, just because Netflix is a horse of a different color. Mm. Have you watched Netflix One Piece?
I have not, but I was over at Ed and Leanne's place when they were watching it, and Ed, who's
avid One Piece fan.
Well, no, I'm an avid. We're both avid One Piece fans. He's like a couple of degrees ahead of me just because he has been keeping up with the manga, and I'm a couple of months behind. He's like more of an One Piece fan than me. He said he very much enjoyed it, so yeah, I'm gonna get on that as soon as I can.
So, because we all know that, I mean, a company I'm probably legally not allowed to mention on this podcast, but we all know what they are. Some companies don't do live action adaptations of animations good. Mm-hmm. But it is improving because yes, Netflix has had a really bad run with things like, there was the live-action Full Metal Alchemist movie that Japan did that was horrible.
Well, live-action Japan movies are completely different.
No, hold on.
The JoJo ones are fucking insane.
Now, hold on. And we know that the fucking Netflix Cowboy Bebop, it certainly was a thing, but live-action adaptations are still getting somewhat better compared to, like, the first Spawn movie that came out. Mm. If they do like a live action like series or something that Netflix does not touch, because I'm going to stress that I hate Netflix adaptations, except for this One Piece one because it sounds like it's actually did a good job.
Fingers crossed for Avatar.
Right?
Hope slow, but fingers crossed.
Yeah. I'm not going to hold my breath for it, but it does have the makings of it being good. Because, I mean, you yourself have talked about certain DC live-action shows that weren't horrible. Yeah. And we've seen DC live-action movies. The Flash, Blue Beetle, and stuff and things like that. You've been saying have been good.
I said The Flash was fun.
You said it was fun, but you said Blue Beetle was
Blue Beetle is legit an amazing movie, and I wish people actually saw it because no one's seeing it.
Right. So, it does have potential. It's going to be probably CG the bullshit.
But also, on that tangent, sorry for cutting you off on the middle of your thing, but I was talking to Leanne about like the whole DC having no good faith, and they said that, they saw the trailer and they were interested in it, and like, oh, this looks like a cool, superhero movie, and then at the end when it said DC, they were like Leanne was like, absolutely not, no thank you. And I was just like, God damn it, DC. Why do you have to burn all of your goodwill with so many shitty fucking movies that now even good ones nobody wants to fucking see? Right. It sucks. But this would be more like a superhero adaptation of anything else that's out right now. Like anything Marvel or DC, it could be very high quality if it was a movie.
They would probably do well with an animated. Mm-hmm. Kind of like in the same vein of like maybe Batman the Animated Series, only, more violent. Because it's fucking Spawn.
Yeah, of course.
But, I mean, if they did live action, they have the potential. Just get the right fucking people working on it, kind of thing. Because, it'd be a revamp, obviously. So, because, there's been many adaptations of many different things. Maybe this one will be closer to the comics or something like that. Or, just go with that. But, and maybe if they make a movie that's not going to be in development hell, they have potential. Spawn right now, Spawn definitely, unfortunately, it falls under, cult classic kind of things. It's it has a cult following. But if they tried to bring it back, especially if Todd's working on the helm, because he's aged, he's a lot better than he was back in the 90s. Then again, aren't we all we all who were born and raised in the 90s? But
I would sure hope so. I was in single digits.
Yeah, in the 90s.
That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, we all people who were raised who went through the 90s and stuff. Obviously a lot of them got better, some of them didn't, but they have potential. So having some other media, video game, movie, show, give Spawn a little bit more love. Yeah, is it edgy? Yes. So was Shadow the Hedgehog when it came out on GameCube. Is it very fucking very dark and brooding? Yes, it is. But guess what? So is Batman.
Of course.
I mean, is it violent? Of course it is. But then again, we've got shows like South Park, Metalocalypse, other things that are violent as well. But they still have a good following. Hell, Metalocalypse just had a resurgence recently because not only did they release a complete series on DVD that sold out like that, but Brendan Small finally came out with a final movie for at least their arc. Is it going to bring it back? We don't know. It might not, but it has a resurgence. Hell, fucking Deathclaw released a fourth Death album as well. An official fourth Death album. So, resurgences can happen. Sorry to go on a Metalocalypse train. I really like that show.
Of course.
But the fact remains is, it can happen still. It's got potential. We just need the right people, the right following to bring it back and bring it back right.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. But definitely I like this season more than the last one. I'm looking forward to season 3.
Am I doing it right? Fingers crossed?
Yeah, that's how you do it. You're making the T.
To those of you who couldn't see, he said fingers crossed, so I made my fingers into a cross.
Yeah,
am I doing it right?
Like a little T. But yeah, we're wrapping up this episode for now. We're almost at the end of Spawn.
Yeah, we got one more season.
Enjoyable show, and I'm looking forward to talking about the last season.
Yep, and of course, after that episode, I will have a new one appear out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And what could it be? I honestly don't know, because I have a lot on the back burner that I want to watch.
Of course.
But,
we'll get there when we get there, as I always say.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Shameless plugs, go.
Okay. Shameless plug number 1. End of list.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I don't really, for those who have not caught prior episodes that involved me, as a reminder, I don't really have an online presence. I don't do Facebook anymore, or Reddit, or any of that shit. I mean, I'm on a Discord. That's how I keep in touch with these motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
But it's a personal Discord, not like a big one.
Yeah.
Like a server.
Yeah.
And me, I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah, or that Twitter, or is it X now?
It's Twitter. Don't call it anything
Yes.
else.
Well, it'll always be Twitter.
But yeah, but for me, I really don't have an online presence as well. Yeah, sure, I did a long time ago make a Twitter account, but I don't even touch it.
Of course, even though I do tag him and shit all the time for the podcast.
He does. Apparently he does, but I won't know because I never touch it anymore. Mm-hmm. And I do have a personal Discord, and I've kind of been reevaluating some things. So all of those just like the Spawn movie, all of my ideas that I have for other podcast kind of things are kind of in development hell right now, unfortunately. But I know the next person on this list has a boatload of tags, so take it away, Matt.
Yep. All right, well, let me just check before I start. Is it still out there? Not here. Okay, yeah.
God damn it, will you fucking shut up.
I can just go on my thing. Okay. Matthew Lewis Podcasts, Patreon, Matthew Lewis Podcasts, YouTube, Matthew Lewis Podcasts, Twitter, Matthew Lewis Podcasts, everything else, Twitch. Check out Forgotten Minotaur King. The book is still on sale. Check out the podcast as well. Old episodes of Action Toon Bros and also my other podcast, Movie Garbage. Check them all out. They're all fucking fantastic. Love feedback. I'm gonna get those RSS feeds up one of these days. It's a very much of a fucking giant hassle to do, but I'm working on it. So yeah, that's my quick plugs this time. But yeah, wrapping up Spawn.
Yep, and like I said, next one is going to be the next episode of Spawn is going to be the last one for Spawn, unless we decide to, get a special guest on Action Toon Bros to talk about that horrific movie that we should probably do.
Oh yeah, well that's vague as hell. There's plenty of shitty movies we need to do.
Oh no, I'm talking about Spawn.
Oh yeah,
the one that actually.
Yeah, like I said last time, and I'll probably say on the third episode of Spawn too. That movie's not bad enough to be on movie garbage. I
know that's why we put it on Action Toon Bros.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, you're actually. Oh, you're right. We'll talk about it.
But anyway, from all of us here at Action Toon Bros Emporium and Matthew Lou's podcast, have fun, and as always, keep it sleazy.
Oh my God, Tony Twist is using Curly's glove to climb back up here.